I before E when you spell relief.
This is the KSVP Community Calendar, a look at things to do in Artesia, Eddy County, and the Pecos Valley. Entered the Central Valley Electric Cooperative Photo Contest. The theme is all things in nature. Photos must be taken in local communities and entrants must be CVE members, and you can submit up to 5 photos. Email your submissions to mbrsvc@cvecoop.org. Entries due by Friday, May 29th at 5 p.m. The New Mexico Department of Transportation has launched a new interactive digital platform to make it easier for you to explore transportation projects planned across New Mexico. The electronic statewide Transportation Improvement Program uses geographic information system technology to display projects on a dynamic statewide map. The new website is nm.stipviewer.pmgpro.com. To have your event listed on the KSVP Community Calendar, email calendar@ksvpradio.com. Please let us know at least 1 week in advance.
This is KSVP and K229 AS Artesia.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. As Tennessee lawmakers are poised to vote on a Republican-backed redistricting plan, Alabama Republicans are also considering redrawing the congressional maps. And in South Carolina, Republican State Rep Brandon Newton says a redistricting effort in his state is not about strengthening the GOP.
This isn't about any one person. This is simply about the process of making sure the maps are constitutional and they are ones that are fair and honest and that we can use. It doesn't matter who's in the seats. These seats are not ours and they're not the congressman's. They are the people's seats, and so it should play a role of who's in the chair.
The Supreme Court recently found that Louisiana's Democrats relied too heavily on race when creating a second black majority district. You can do it the easy way or the hard way. That, in a nutshell, is a choice President Trump offers Iran. He's urging Tehran to accept a U.S. proposal to end the war, or else he warns that bombing will resume. In the meantime, the president says the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports remains very much in effect.
It's like a wall of steel. Nobody goes through. In particular, the Iranians are not getting anything through one way or the other, so they're out of business. And we'll see whether or not they are agreeing. And if they don't agree, they'll end up agreeing shortly thereafter.
The president insists the Iranians, despite public statements to the contrary, are interested in making a deal. He says they've already signaled a willingness to give up their nuclear ambitions. Powerful storms have included at least one confirmed tornado have lashed parts of Mississippi, damaging nearly 500 homes, bringing down trees, power lines. No immediate reports of fatalities, although at least 17 people have been injured. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures are up 121 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 31 points. The S&P futures up 11. More on these stories, townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
Hi, my name's Neil. I have some advice for you if you've been trying to break free from credit card debt. You can start by doing what I did. Get your bills together and call Trinity Debt Management. Trinity is dedicated to helping people like me become debt-free. When I called, my first experience was a feeling of relief. My counselor was kind, and best of all, she didn't judge me. In just a few minutes, she helped me figure out a plan that consolidated all my bills into one lower monthly payment. This substantially reduced my high interest rates and put me on the road to success. In the end, I saved thousands in interest, and today my credit card debt is a thing of the past.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Neil. Take it from someone who's been there. Call Trinity and become debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
A senior Hezbollah commander has reportedly been killed in an Israeli strike in the southern suburbs of Lebanon's capital, Beirut.
It was a targeted airstrike, and we understand that it hit a commander in Radwan Brigade, along with his assistants and some others who were apparently in a meeting. That information came from the IDF. They've announced that they have targeted one of the leaders of Radwan Brigade, who was responsible, in accordance to the Israelis, to some attacks in northern Israel.
The BBC's Lena Sinjab. The polls have opened for midterm local and regional elections could significantly impact British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Starmer's Labour Party is bracing for losses in elections across England, Scotland and Wales. While local elections usually focus on community issues like garbage collection and potholes, opponents have framed this as a referendum on Starmer and his party. Townhall.com. One suspect apprehended following a deadly mass shooting at a lakeside park in Oklahoma.
Police in Edmond, Oklahoma have made an arrest after a weekend shooting that killed a young woman and left nearly 24 others injured.
Multiple subjects produced firearms and discharged in excess of 80 rounds.
Police Chief J.D. Younger says 18-year-old Jalen Davis turned himself in and is being held on a $1 million bond.
That charge is in the process of being upgraded to felony murder.
The 18-year-old who died from her injuries, Aviana Smith Gray, was a high school senior. Her family says she loved to sing and dance and was looking forward to graduation. I'm Jennifer King.
Budget airline AirAsia is ordering 150 Airbus A220-300 jets, valued at roughly $19 billion. It is the largest single order ever placed for the A220 planes. AirAsia says the aircraft's fuel efficiency and lower emissions are crucial for coping with high fuel prices. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
IP is Pam Thurman. Pam works at HF Sinclair, and after 21 years, Pam is retiring, and you are certainly going to be missed. Congratulations. Here's wishing you a wonderful retirement. With love from your family. Today, Pam, you're going to receive a flower from Nell's Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Pam Thurman.
Good morning, Artesia. It is Thursday, May the 7th, 7 o'clock hour. I'm your host, Scott Pettis. And man, we got a jam-packed show for you today. This morning, just in the first hour, we got the AHS baseball team coming in. And this, in the second half of the hour, Senior Companion Foster Grandparent Program is coming in at 8:15. We'll have the Rec Center. I'll have the other half of the 8 o'clock hour And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll have Destiny Rojo from the PY Foundation. We'll talk to Aaron, and then we'll hear from the Carlsbad Gym Society. So lots and lots going on. So let's jump right into Scripture this morning and get that knocked out before our first guest comes in here. I might be, if you've been listening to past week or so, I might be starting to sound like a broken record or beating a dead horse or whatever colloquialism you want to throw at that. But I'm still stuck on this issue of authority. I'm dealing with it in Scripture right now, and I want to talk a little bit more about it. I'm going to hit one more day of it here this week and focus on it. And I landed in 1 Peter 2. 1 Peter 2, verses 13 through 17, that says this: "Be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution, whether it be to the emperors supreme or to governors as sent by him to punish those who do evil and praise those who do good. For this is the will of God, that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. Live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover-up for evil, but living as servants of God. Honor everyone. Love the brotherhood, fear God, and honor the emperor." In the second hour, I'm going to be playing a clip for you guys from an Australian senator that talks about being a man under authority and living his faith openly, and not succumbing to the false ideologies of others. So when we read something like this, we struggle. We, especially those of us in states like New Mexico, where we look at our leadership and we know they're not acting in a godly way. We know they're not doing what Scripture tells them in Romans 13 and in 1 Peter, that their job is to punish evil and to praise those who do good, because we don't see it happening in us. But we also have to remember this was written in a time when it was the same thing. So we're still called to honor those who are in the magistrate, those who are in the civil government, and we're still charged to be under that authority. But we also have to look at Acts. If we jump over to Acts 5, where the Sanhedrin is telling Peter and them not to preach about the gospel of Christ, where they say in Acts 5:28, "We strictly charge you to not teach in his name. Yet here you have filled Jerusalem with your teaching, and you intended to bring this man's blood upon us." But Peter and the apostles answered, "We must obey God rather than men." We must honor the emperor, right? We look at back at Peter. We look at Romans. We have to honor those in power because God put them there. It says, "Be subject to every human institution." So we have to abide by the laws of the land up until the point where they tell us that we can't preach. We can't follow God. We're not bound to obey laws, to obey laws that cause us to disobey God. So we need to understand that situation, and we need to be aware of it, and we need to work in it. But also, if you look there in 1 Peter, it says this: "This is the will of God, that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people." So we don't silence ignorant, foolish people by doing evil. We cannot repay evil for evil. We can't have that Machiavellian mindset of, well, the ends justify the means, so we can do whatever we need to do in order to win, or we need to do whatever we need to do in order to stop them from doing what they're doing. We still have to do it within the confines of obeying God. So that's where we have to see. Our lives are defined by submission. Our lives are defined by being under different authorities. That's the way God ordered the world, and we have to realize that. And so therefore we have to walk in that at all times. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll pick this back up in the next hour. Right now we're going to go ahead and hit a weather break, check our weather. We'll come back and look at our calendars, and then we'll be joined by the guys from the baseball team.
Grandparents to grandkids, Artesia Ford Sales has been the trusted dealership for several generations of Artesia motorists. 60 years in the same family. We welcome every family that walks through our doors. That's why our employees are so proud to call Artesia home. Families serving families. It's more than a slogan, it's how we do business. Friday, May 15th, come celebrate with us 60 years in Artesia. From 11 to 2, Artesia Ford's team will serve free lunch to your family. We can't wait to see you.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will stay fairly cool today with high pressure moving in. A few clouds, but plenty of sunshine, and we're looking at mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear with upper 40s, and then we get a big warm up on Friday. We'll be back in the upper 80s and sunny. Looks like 90s for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Will stay sunny and breezy on Sunday, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All right, Artesia, enjoy the next couple of cool days. We got one more cool day today, and slightly warmer tomorrow, and then man, it starts getting hot. So, all right, hey, let's jump into these calendars and see what's going on. Artesia Public Schools cafeteria serving up mini bagels for breakfast, and then lunch, tangerine chicken, white rice, steamed broccoli, and diced pears. Over at the senior meal site, you guys are going to be having Swiss steak with broccoli and cauliflower, brown rice, and mixed fruit for lunch. At the Artesia Senior Center today, 8:15 exercise video, 1 o'clock wood burning, 1 o'clock bridge and train dominoes, 1:30 sewing. And don't forget, today at noon is the birthday potluck. They're going to be, if you've got a May birthday, they're going to be celebrating you today over there at noon with enchiladas and tacos. At the Artesia Public Library, nothing on the schedule for today over there. And let's jump into the Artesia Public Schools calendar and see what's going on over there. Well, you gotta wait. Sometimes you gotta wait for the internet. I did not pull it up. There's that calendar. Hey, our BPA students are still over there in Nashville, Tennessee. They're competing, so good luck to them today. Tonight's the HS Choir Banquet. And then the State Tennis Individual and Team Tournament is in Albuquerque today. And let's see, HS, you guys got AP exams in world history today. So good luck on those. And then the Roselawn PTO meeting today at 3:30 to 4:30. Who's got a birthday? Happy birthday to David Cotting and Kathy Farrar. Have a wonderful, wonderful birthday.
At our credit union, we take a team approach to finances. You see, unlike other financial institutions, here you're a member owner, not a customer. And because we're not for profit, we usually have better rates and fewer service charges. Call or come by to check out the Credit Union Advantage. Artesia Credit Union, member NCUA. There is a difference.
There is a difference.
Spring has moved in at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop. Discover beautiful spring fabrics plus top-notch sewing machines. We're your certified dealer and repair station for Handy Quilter long arm and Brother sewing machines, and scissor sharpening is available. Join our beginning embroidery and quilting classes. Log on to RoswellQuilting.com to shop online today and follow the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop on Facebook. Want to know how? Come to the Cow. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 5,700 current Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success, that's what we're about.
Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Forest Tire is here to service all your tire needs day and night. With your busy travel schedule, what you need is a tire that can keep up. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire with an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect. You can lose track of time and focus on what really matters. For all your tire needs, brakes and alignments too, Forest Tire Company is a friend you can always count on. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
It's lunchtime in Artesia. Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? At La Fonda, we've been serving Artesia since 1965 with authentic New Mexican favorites.
I'm on my lunch break, and nothing beats La Fonda's green chili chicken enchiladas. Fast, hot, and delicious.
Join us weekdays from 11 to 2 at 210 West Main. Dine in, take out, or call ahead at 575-746-9377. Make your lunch break the best part of your day. La Fonda, where flavor feels like home.
The Artesia Historical Museum and Arts Center now has their very own website. Visit artesiamuseum.org to stay up to date on events and exhibits. Look through historical photos of Artesia, submit research requests, and more. For information, please call 575-748-7345. Stop by the Artesia Historical Museum and Arts Center at 505 West Richardson Avenue or online at artesiamuseum.org. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 4. This ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Do you ever feel like you're running in circles? Like you're just chasing day after day after day and really getting nowhere? I think we all get there at times, but God created us to live for something bigger than ourselves. And when we get in that daily rut, most of the time we're living for ourselves. God wants a relationship with you. He loves you. And at Faith Baptist Church here at 401 South 20th Street, we are pursuing after God and would love for you to come join us. We want to go from where we are to where God wants us to be. Come join us at Faith Baptist Church.
You bust your tail tour after tour, building a life for you and your family. A serious injury can take away everything you've worked for, not just your paycheck, but your future. If you've been hurt in the field, you deserve a team as hardworking as you are. Ornelas Injury Lawyers won't back down until you've won the money you deserve and the justice you're owed.
Call Ornelas Injury Lawyers at 575-800-0000
and recover more.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. Hey, we've got some of the guys from the baseball team in here. You guys are on bye week, huh? You just no game this week, or? We got a game Friday. You got a game Friday, Coach. You're gonna have to. You guys will have to share that mic back and forth.
Sir. Yeah.
You guys got a game Friday. Okay, so.
Yes, sir. So we start the first round of the playoffs this week, and we'll play Lovington. So 1 seed versus 16, and it'll be a 3-game series. And we'll play the best of 3. So game 1's Friday at 6, and then game 2 will start Saturday at 11.
Oh man, so it's on then.
Oh, it's on. Yes,
yeah, I
sir.
thought you guys got a week off, but nope, it's it just got pushed. No Thursday game this week, so you guys are pushing to Friday and going from there. Well, we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves. Start down here with you, Mr. Byers, and go ahead and pull that microphone right up to you. You grab that microphone there, pull them on up, right up to your face, guys. You got to talk right into them. Yeah, swing it around the other way. Go ahead, Jack.
All right, my name's Jack Byers. I'm a senior, and
you're the pitcher?
Yes, sir.
One of the pitchers.
Pitcher, played third base as well.
All right. And then what about yourself, sir?
I'm Dalen Pacheco. I play first base and pitch.
Okay. When Jack gets tired, you know. All right, go ahead.
I'm Jet Fuentes. I'm a senior, and I play shortstop.
All right. So you guys are headed into playoffs tomorrow then. And who you playing? Who's the 16s? You're first. So you guys end up being first seed then. Okay, I didn't heard that news, so. You guys are first. They're 16th. You guys play in Lovington, best of 3. So I guess you're not too worried about this game going in. I'm just, but no, at least, hey, everybody that made the playoffs. So, and then what does it look like from there going down the road, Jack?
We'll either play St. Pius or Grants in the quarterfinal game, and then I'm pretty sure it'll be like a Damien or Santa Teresa in the semis, and then Most likely Goddard in the championship game.
Okay. And remind me, remind me how that Goddard game turned out for you guys last time.
The first game we won, what was the score?
4-1.
4-1, and then the second game we lost 6-8.
Yeah.
And then we won the third game.
All right.
I don't remember the score of the third game.
3-1.
Yeah, so you guys came out on top, but that sounded like some tough ball games there.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. And so this set of games, Coach, is here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this week's games are here, but then after that, everything's in Albuquerque, right?
Yes, sir. So they'll take the 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, and they'll play that first round on the higher seeds home field. And then the winner of those 8 matchups will go into Albuquerque's quarterfinals, semifinals, and state championship game.
Yeah.
And this year, the state championship game is at UNM Field. So it's been a few years since we've gotten to do that. So a couple of years. I think when you guys were sophomores, we played on it against Grant. So it's not an unfamiliar field, but it's neat to go back and play at the UNM Field.
Awesome. And so, Jet, tell me this. So when do y'all's finals start? I mean, surely you've got finals coming up here in a couple of weeks.
I'm not sure if it's the same for everyone, but we've been doing them for like this week. We've been doing a couple.
Oh, okay.
And then I think they're pretty spread out for the seniors. Like the teachers try to get the seniors done pretty early.
Yeah, because you guys. Because I mean, is it this Friday or next Friday? You guys got off because it's sports day. There's so much sports stuff going on.
I'll take the whole week off.
Yeah.
You're gonna take the whole week off.
There's nobody at school.
I was like, is there some teachers sending finals up to Albuquerque with you guys to knock out?
What I would say about that is the teachers are doing great. They work with these athletes like Jack. He has to leave for golf on Saturday or Sunday and this weekend, and he'll leave and be gone all week. And so getting his exams done early is a big thing. And so each teacher's working with each one of these seniors, and it's pretty cool to watch the relationship between the teachers and kids, and kind of shows what our school's doing. It's pretty nice to have.
That's great that the teachers, are helping out there and making sure. So, Jack, you're playing dual sport right now? You're playing golf too?
Yes, sir.
How you doing over there? You didn't tell me that last time we were here.
With all rounds, I'm ranked number 7 in the state for golf. So,
okay.
And in my class, I'm number 1. So
awesome.
I'm looking forward to the state matchup this week. I think we have a chance to win state in golf too. So
really,
we're ranked number 1 throughout all classes by 2 strokes, but best 5 are ranked number 1 by 10 strokes.
Oh,
so
wow.
We should win state if we don't choke. So
yeah. I just sitting there thinking, do we have any golf state championships out there on the tower?
We have a couple, but it was in 2017, and they played in Roswell. So it was if we played in Roswell, we'd win. But
2017. It was so long ago, So awesome. So I've asked this. Jack's been on a number of times. I know where you're headed after school. After this. What about you, Dalen? Where you?
I'm just planning to go work.
You'll work. What field of work are you gonna go into?
I still haven't decided if I was gonna go do a lineman or the oil field.
I don't know, man. You got kind of more of an oil field look going on. But for those of you who can't see him, you're not watching on TV. This kid's got a beard that I wasn't able to grow until my mid-30s. So I'm like, this is awesome. I didn't even know the school let him grow facial hair. Back in my day, especially our former football coach, man, if you even had a 5 o'clock shadow on, Coach Henderson was coming down. Hey, why'd you shave this morning? So awesome. And Jet, I know you've told me before, but where are you headed after school?
My plan right now is to go to Tech.
There you go. He's got the hat on. I had to highlight him because he wins by a long shot in my book. So, you plan on playing any sports up there? Or?
Maybe. I might try to walk on for baseball, but I'm not 100% yet.
Okay. What are you going to be studying?
Petroleum engineering.
Oh, you're going to come back here to work too, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. I actually didn't even know Tech had a petroleum. I guess it makes sense. They're in the heart of the oil country too. So, awesome. What are you guys looking forward to? So that tournament's over next week. So you guys will be done by next Saturday. We'll know whether or not who's state champs. We'll be following you guys through that whole thing, and then just a couple weeks. I don't think I asked. I know you're a senior. I know you're a senior, right? What about you? Senior as well. So you're done as well. So you guys looking forward to graduation?
Not really. Everybody says they want to get out of Artesia, but it's a good place to be.
It is. I promise. After being gone for 25 years, I picked up the family and we came home. So it's good. But I think if you're smart and what you're thinking right now is come 2 weeks from now, you got to start adulting. It's on you now. I know that was the biggest shock for mine when she graduated high school. So, all right. Well, I wish you guys best of luck. Coach, I was going to ask you something real quick, and it just slipped my mind. But, yeah, I guess that's it.
I'd like to brag on these guys a little bit
go ahead.
Before we get off the air here. Together, I was just looking at the stats, but combined, these three have 84 hits total. And if you look at the percentage, I think that's climbing up to over a quarter, maybe closer to a half of our hits of the team. So these guys are kind of our big hitters on the stat book, and 56 RBIs with these guys. And another cool thing about this is that all these three can pitch. Our whole team can pitch. We kind of hide. We don't show all of them, but we know Jet can pitch. Anytime we get in the pinch, we'll get to this guy. But together, that's kind of been like our safety net. So I think we already hit the record book with ninth most strikeouts in the season. We're at 215. So, and they've got more games to play. So these guys will keep climbing in that stat. And so it'll be fun to watch these guys, especially on the mound and what they do at the plate.
Yeah. I normally ask guys, like, what's your batting average? But the last couple of times I've asked, some of the guys like, oh.
Yeah. The average, that's tough. In baseball, it goes up and down so much that, you could be asking them in a bad moment what their average is. But if you ask them on Thursday, they went 4 for 4, and they'd love to tell you.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
But these guys, they hit consistently 350 or more. And so.
All right, how many home runs at the bench right here?
Like 2. I don't know how to get a year.
Yeah.
2.
You got 2? Got 1. All right, well, hey, there you go.
That's half of the team total.
That's half of the team total right there, sitting at the table.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, fellas, I wish you the best of luck. You go out there, play hard, and we're rooting for you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming in, and God bless.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Mississippi has been slammed by violent storms, including tornadoes that struck overnight. Hundreds of buildings suffered damage, much of it in the southern part of the state. Governor Tate Reeves reports multiple tornadoes, says emergency response efforts are continuing. It is a legal victory for the Department of Justice as it investigates allegations of election fraud in 2020 in Georgia. As Iran considers a U.S. proposal for ending the war, President Trump says that things have been going well for the U.S., and it's in Iran's best interest, he says, to accept the American plan. Yesterday, the U.S. fired on an Iranian tanker that was trying to break the American blockade of Iranian ports. On Wall Street, the Dow futures up 94 points. NASDAQ futures 9 points higher. More details at srnnews.com.
Here's a song for Lowell's Pharmacy, and when it's over, I'll explain why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
You and your family getting all the things you need, where personal service is always guaranteed. Prescriptions filled faster with dependability. That is why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
At Lowell's Pharmacy, we are called the Family Pharmacy. Let me spell it out for you. The F stands for fair prices and everything. The A is for accurate prescription service. M for the many professional services we provide. The I is for immediate service. L for the luxury of getting everything you need in just one place. And the Y is for you.
And that is why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
Lowell's Pharmacy, 612 North 13th, across from the hospital in the Artesia Professional Building. Lowell's Pharmacy.
Yeah, there's a separation between the top of 2A softball, that's Loving, and pretty much everybody else. Yesterday, Loving played their first game in the postseason and walloped Eunice 22-1 to move to 19-3 on the season. Loving next plays in Albuquerque next Wednesday against number 5 Capitan. Meanwhile, season came to an end for the Loving baseball team, losing heartbreaker to Raton, 7-6. Loving trailed 7-3. Got 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th, but couldn't get that last run to tie, and so it's Raton that moves on. At the state tennis tournament, Adrian Harvey from Artesia in the 4A girls draw defeated Dana Rosales from Chaparral 6-2, 6-2, but then lost to the second seed Nishta Coley from Academy, also 6-2, 6-2. Sean Arocido from Carlsbad lost first round to Cyrus Lesueur from Piedra Vista. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at KSVP Radio, AM 990.
Everybody's been cheering school cell phone bans like they're the cure for everything wrong with kids today. Well, a new study dropped. The verdict barely moved the needle. I'm Kim Commando for WebRoot. WebRoot Essentials antivirus protects your devices without slowing you down. Right now, get 62% off at webroot.com/Kim. The National Bureau of Economic Research tracked 40,000 schools through 2026. Test scores basically unchanged. Attendance same. Online bullying same. Suspensions actually jumped 16% in year 1. Here's my take. Phones are not the disease, they're the symptom. Until parents put their phones down, kids are not going to suddenly fall in love with algebra because a Yonder pouch ate their TikTok. My prediction, 5 years from now, schools quietly walk these bans back. The play at home is phone-free dinners, phone-free homework. Lead by example. Banning phones at school, but not at home, is like putting your kid on a diet and putting Pop-Tarts in the pantry. Get my free newsletter at getkim.com. I've tried a lot of antivirus software over the years, and when something better comes along, I switch. That's why I've moved to WebRoot Essentials. WebRoot Essentials is a cloud-based AI-powered antivirus app that was designed to evolve with today's threats. It's fast, lightweight protection that works across all my devices without slowing me down. If you need another reason to switch, get this. WebRoot Essentials recently ranked #1 in independent Passmark performance studies against 9 other brands, like Norton, McAfee, and even Microsoft Defender. The study found that WebRoot Essentials scans 6 times faster, uses far less memory, and takes up 33% less space on your computer. I've seen the difference WebRoot has made for my devices, and now you can too. My listeners get 62% off WebRoot Essentials at webroot.com/Kim. Get the #1 ranked antivirus protection for just $19 a year right now at webroot.com/Kim. webroot.com/Kim. Go now while you're thinking about it. webroot.com/Kim.
Turpin & Son Mortuary of Artesia presents a listing of today's obituaries. Today we have one new obituary. A funeral service will be held for Renee Candido Flores Reza at 10 a.m. Friday, May 8th at Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church with a rosary before the service at 9:30 a.m. A viewing will be held from 2 to 6 p.m. Thursday, May 7th at Turpin & Son Mortuary. Those honored to be pallbearers will be Martin Flores, Alonzo Aguirre, Oscar Aguirre, Jesus Aguirre, Danny Reza, and Jose Reza. Renee, 36, passed away April 30th. He was born on February 2nd to Arturo Flores and Luisa Reza in Juarez, Chihuahua, Mexico. Renee was known for his love of basketball, dancing, and singing, bringing joy to those around him with his infectious enthusiasm. He found peace riding his motorcycle along the shores of the lake. Above all, he had an unwavering desire to be close to his son, expressing love and devotion in every moment they shared. Renee is preceded by Maria Zambrano, Jose Reza, and Fernando Reza. Those left to cherish his memory and honor his legacy are Luisa, Reza, and family. This listing has been presented as a service by Turpin & Son Mortuary of Artesia. We make it personal.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will stay fairly cool today with high pressure moving in. A few clouds, but plenty of sunshine, and we're looking at mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear with upper 40s, and then we get a big warm up on Friday. We'll be back in the upper 80s and sunny. Looks like 90s for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Will stay sunny and breezy on Sunday, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
right, welcome back, Artesia. We're now joined in studio by the ladies from Southeastern New Mexico Community Action out of Carlsbad. Miss Rita Archuleta and Delilah Koss. Welcome so much to on the show.
Thank you.
They both told me during the break that this is their first time on the radio, and then they saw the cameras and they're like, oh no. So that's the reaction we get from most people. Like, why are there cameras everywhere? Because we're on TV too. So ladies, tell us a little bit about, whoever wants to go, tell us a little bit about Southeastern New Mexico Community Action and everything you guys do.
We're a nonprofit, private nonprofit. We've been in business since 1965. We have 5 programs that we run to help the community. One of our programs is the Senior Citizen Companion, the foster grandparent, and we have the Senior Citizen Program, which feeds seniors, congregate and homebound. We also have the Community Block Grant, and we have the KSVP program, which is a meal reimbursement for home babysitters, home caregivers.
Okay.
With the Senior Citizen Companion, we feed seniors 60 and older. We ask for donations, but they're not obligated to pay. They're not turned away if they're not able to. We offer transportation, light home housekeeping. Our adult respite is a place that they can bring their seniors to. The caregivers and family can bring their seniors to have socialization and stuff while they're out and doing shopping or whatever. They can leave their seniors with us to socialize and participate in activities. The foster grandparents, Delilah can tell you about that, and the Senior Companion and the KSVP program.
All right.
So the Senior Companion program, we are seeking volunteers to be senior companions to encourage other seniors. And this program is, it has certain guidelines that we have to have. So interested individuals must be 55 and older, meet federal income guidelines, and pass a background check. And these senior companions engage with other senior companions when they're home alone, when the caregiver has to go out and run some errands and stuff. Then we can have a senior companion there so that they're not home alone. And also there's people that don't get any kind of visitation during the week or anything like that. So these people go in, these seniors go in and may visit with them 3-4 hours a day, depending on the need. And then, they get them to socialize, maybe take them out to the senior center, also just be there for them so that they're not so lonely, because we know that's, that goes on a lot in the community where seniors stay home by themselves all the time and stuff. So we're seeking those people that would be interested in participating in the Senior Companion program. We also do give them a stipend, an hourly stipend, and it is tax-free. And then that is for the Senior Companion program. And for the Foster Grandparent program, we're also seeking volunteers. And those are individuals that go out to the schools. We may put them in a elementary school or at kindergarten or at Head Start. And they help tutor the children with their daily curriculum and offer guidance and loving care to the children. They also receive a tax-free stipend and also get reimbursed for transportation to and from work. They also may get a reimbursement for meals also. And that's for both Senior Companion and for Foster Grandparent.
So, yeah. Okay, so
It basically covers the program.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you guys have got a lot of programs going on, and so that's a lot of work. That's a lot, and I'm hoping there's more on the staff than just the two of you running all of this.
Yes, there is. We have people that's been on the program that's been with our agency for a very, very long time. I'm a newbie. I've only been there 4 years, but Delilah's been there for over 30 years.
Oh, wow. So, and
started
you guys told me during the beforehand that this was started in 1965. So this is a very long-running program. And you guys are serving the community of Carlsbad. Now, how far outreaching from Carlsbad do you guys go, or do you just do city limits, or what's the program cover?
So we do 5 counties. We do Eddy County, Lee County, Chavez County,
Wow.
Otero County, and Lincoln County.
Okay, so you guys do a whole area. So
And Delilah's programs is just in Eddy County and Lee County.
okay, and so you guys need volunteers.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what the ideal volunteer looks like for you guys. Like, you know, because of the amount of time and effort that they've got to spend and all that stuff.
Well, they have to be 55 and older.
Okay.
They do have to meet federal income guidelines, and they do have to be able to pass a background check.
Okay. All right. So, but they're going to be, how much time does a volunteer spend in, say, let's do the senior companion? How much time are they going to be investing each week?
They can spend, they can go from 4 to 7 hours a day.
Okay.
Okay.
But,
The minimum is 15 hours
Mhm.
a week.
Okay.
So, you know, if they want to just do 15, that's fine, but they could do up to 35.
Okay. And do you pair them up with just one person, and that person they stay with, you know, or do they move around from person to person, or?
They can have 2 or 3 clients a day if they want.
Oh,
It just
wow.
all depends. A lot of times, you know, we do have people that need just a couple of hours, so
Uh-huh.
they may go to one client for a couple of hours, and then they may go to another one for the rest of the day, or, you know, or maybe just one client the whole day.
And they kind of help out around the house and just provide companionship and stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay, well that is a really cool program. Onto the foster grandparent thing. What does that look like for a volunteer? How much time are they spending? What are they doing?
Well, that's usually a school day, so it's usually
So they're the whole
Yes.
school day. Okay.
Well, you know, not unless they don't want to do the whole day, we can work
Yeah.
with them.
Okay.
But it's usually from 8 to 3,
Mhm.
and Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Because our agency doesn't work on Fridays.
Okay.
So it's not unless they want to work on the Friday, then they can, because we do have some that do work on Fridays.
Okay.
So it's Monday through, you know, Friday if they want, and
Uh-huh.
8 to 3. If they want less hours, we can work something out with that also.
And the compensation for this is completely tax-free. So this is a good, you know, if you're in that retirement age and could use that extra money and, you know, like helping people, it's a great program,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And then the state doesn't get any of your money. So
Correct.
that's a pretty good job right there.
Because
So
you know how Social Security is. It's hard for people, seniors, to live on just Social Security.
Yeah.
And this gives them a chance to make a little bit more and also get out in the public and meet other people.
Yeah.
So that way they're not so isolated as well.
Yeah, keep moving too. You know, that's the thing as we get older. We got to keep moving. If we sit still for too long, you know.
Right.
So tell me a little bit. How does people in need of your services? What's the process for them to get connected with you guys?
So, well, for me, they can give me a call. My cell number is 575-909-6400. And I'm at 1313 Gilcrest. I'm in the same building that the senior center, the senior citizen center on Gilcrest is. I'm in their building, and the daycare is there also. The adult daycare is there also. I'm in that building. If they want, they can come by and see me, or they can give me a call, and you know, I'll give them an application and we'll get it started.
Okay.
And as far as all the other programs, if they need help with rental assistance or utility assistance, or even needing a meal provided for homebound, if they're homebound and not able to get out to go to the congregate meals, they can call our agency at 575-887-3939.
Okay.
And leave a message for any, you know, just tell us what they need and we'll get back to them.
That's great. So, and you guys service the whole area. I mean, that's a pretty wide reaching. Now, were you saying that the two programs that you were talking about are only for the Eddy County?
Eddy and Lee.
Eddy and Lee. Okay, and then the other programs cover the whole southeast New Mexico.
Yes.
Okay, and do you guys have offices? So say someone's up in Hobbs or
Yeah.
something like that? Do you guys have offices up there?
We had an office in Hobbs, but we have an agency that we work with. If we need to go up there and meet with them, then we can still use the office that we had originally had. With the federal shutdown, we had closed that office down temporarily.
Okay.
So we are operating out of Carlsbad, but we can also do it through the email, or we can go to meet them at wherever they're at and assist them in any ways that they need.
Okay. Now, I heard you say something earlier about donations. So how can people, like, say I can't volunteer, or anything like that? How can people help you guys out?
They can call the 575-887-3939 number and talk to me or Delilah. We ask for the donations for the senior meal program to help buy the food and everything to feed more people.
Okay.
Our goal is to feed more people.
Yeah.
So they can just call that number and we will assist them in any way that they need for those donations.
Okay, awesome. That way people can help out there. What about other volunteer opportunities? I'm sure somebody's got to deliver meals. I know we have Meals on Wheels here in Artesia, but I'm assuming you guys got something like that where people are delivering. And
yes, sir. We do ask for volunteers for our meal sites and to help with home delivery, to help with the congregate meals or whatever. And they're welcome to call that number, and they're welcome to help out. Our program doesn't pay for our volunteers, but if they're just willing to want to assist, then the opportunity's there for them.
Okay, awesome. So sounds like a wonderful program, and I'm really impressed with everything you guys are doing. That's a pretty sizable thing you guys have got going on. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there and you can volunteer, or if you need, I guess you call it volunteer, but there is a stipend. So, it's kind of a job, but not really. But if you want to get out there and help people, you give these ladies a call, let them know that you want to be part of this program. And if you can donate to it, then donate to it as well. Anything else you guys want to highlight or let people know about so that, kind of cover the whole thing?
Not really. Our agency is looking for more grants to grow our program to help the community in other ways that we can. One of the programs that we would like to bring on is the chore program to help the seniors that are homebound to do their yard work for them.
Okay, that's a great idea.
So we're looking into that to see if we can bring that. We're also looking into the assistance transportation where we can take them to their doctor's appointments out of town, or take them shopping, take them to church, take them to special events,
That's neat.
Because there's a lot of seniors that don't want to get out and drive at night.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be able to assist them on that if they want to go to church and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we're looking into grants for that as well. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, I wish you best of luck. That grant writing's quite a task.
Yes, it is.
So, all right. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming in and letting us know all about that. And we wish you the best of luck, and God bless.
Thank you so much for your time.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Ted Turner, who created a media empire and transformed the news business, died Wednesday. He was 87 years old. Turner's signature achievement was creating CNN, the first 24-hour all-news television network in 1980. And he owned professional sports teams, raced yachts, and he donated to United Nations charities. Lower-income Americans sharply reduced their gasoline consumption in the month following the Iran war. Spiking prices still forced them to spend more at the pump. Higher-income households, meanwhile, increased their spending on gas while barely reducing their consumption, according to a report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Disney exceeded most expectations in the second quarter due to strength in its streaming service and strong spending at U.S. theme parks that offset weak international tourism. International tourism in the United States has waned for a number of reasons, including tariffs and repeated jabs at allied nations. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Primary Election Day is coming up on June 2nd. If you aren't voting, important local decisions are being decided without you. Do you want to leave all these decisions up to others? Decisions that affect you aren't decided in Washington or Santa Fe. They are decided here on primary election day. For the first time, Democrats, Republicans, and Independents can all vote in New Mexico's primary on June 2nd. Make a plan to vote on June 2nd in the primary election. Paid for by the Permian Strategic Partnership.
Searching for a church that honors God? Come to First Church Artesia at 4th and Grand. We're a family of believers putting Christ first, preaching the Bible with reverence and uniting all ages in family integrated worship. Sundays at 10:45 a.m., experience the timeless truth and heartfelt praise. We're reaching Artesia with the good news, living all of Christ for all of life. Check out artesiareform.com or find us on Facebook, First Church Artesia, where faith thrives.
Welcome to Answers with Ken Ham, presented by the Coalition of Christians for Biblical Creation and Fulkerson Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. CCBC is an interdenominational coalition of Christians from Artesia who believe that the account of origins presented in Genesis is a simple but factual presentation of actual events. Answers with Ken Ham is brought to you by Fulkerson Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, your best bet yet for great service. For over 41 years, thousands of customers have chosen Fulkerson. Call 622-1600 or visit www.fulkersonplumbing.com.
You can't please everyone. This is Ken Ham, General Editor of the new book, Defending God's Existence. All this week, we've been dealing with criticism against Bible-believing Christians. Well, here's something to remember. You can never please everyone. People will always find something they think is wrong. So how should we deal with that? Well, first, listen with humility and pray for wisdom. No one's perfect or right all the time. Make the best decision you can and move on. And second, do your best to exhibit the fruit of the Spirit. We should never be characterized by a hateful or proud attitude. And lastly, don't go against your conscience. If your conscience convicts you and nothing in God's Word says you're wrong, follow your conscience.
Learn more about our Christian attractions, the Creation Museum, and Ark Encounter in Northern Kentucky at AnswersRadio.com.
I see your picture, your name in lights above it. This is your big debut. It's like a dream come true.
Welcome back, Artesia. So I got a little distracted. I sat there and talked to Jeff during the breaks, and man, I'm so easily distracted. Hey, so great interview there. I'm really interested. I think that's a really cool thing they've got going on. You know, no, we've got a number of things here in Artesia. We've got our senior center. We've got Meals on Wheels and everything here as well. And it's great to know stuff's going on in Carlsbad, and such a wide-reaching organization trying to take care of all of Southeast New Mexico. I think Southeast New Mexico is kind of a special place, and I'm always impressed with the number of people out there trying to help people. So, if you know someone in that age bracket, in that the over 55, needs some extra income, likes to visit with people, can help out with a little house, talk to them. Go, hey, look, this program exists. You could make some extra money. It's completely tax-free. You don't have to worry about it affecting your taxes and all that stuff. I know when you reach that retirement age, sometimes, that can be an issue. So just encourage you is let them know, hey, look, this might be something for you to do, to go and help people. So really impressed with everything they've got going on there. So, try to get some volunteers for them. That's one of the things is you find in, especially found in ministry is trying to get people to volunteer is tough because everybody's got lives. And man, I don't know about you, but life seems to move. I don't know if my parents, when they were my age, and if life seemed to be going so as fast as it does for me right now, there's always something to do. Every second of every day, from the moment I wake up to the moment I lay my head down, there's something going on, and we're trying to take care of things, and very fast-paced life. And I know for a lot of our seniors, they miss that. They miss that daily interaction. You know, most of us are getting up, we're going to work, and even if we don't necessarily like everybody we're working with, you know, at least it's someone to interact with and have that, you know, constant discussion or interact, you know, just being around people. And a lot of our seniors, that I know they get homebound, they can't get out, and maybe the spouse has passed on and it's just them, and you know, the kids and the grandkids, they're off just going 100 miles an hour, and they try to stop and check in and as best they can. But loneliness is a real thing, and it can wear a person down very quickly. And so I think the senior companion thing, and then foster grandparenting, I think that's a really neat idea. You know, these grandparents going into the school, you know, the senior citizens going into the school, interacting with these kids, helping them with their homework. And you know, there's a lot of our kids maybe don't have a whole lot of family interaction, don't have grandparents in their lives that can do that. And there's just a really neat connection between a grandparent and a small child. You know, once you get to a certain age, you start to look at children differently, you interact with them differently, and it's a different kind of nurturing and care. And so just encourage you, if you're out there and you can be part of this, you could use a little extra money, you know, reach out to the ladies up there at Southeastern New Mexico Community Action. And that way you can be part of the solution. You know, there's always a need for people to connect and have you know, just encourage one another. We don't live in a bubble. We don't live in a world where we can all just exist individually and not have friendship with one another. So I think that's a pretty awesome thing. So. All right, Artesia. Well, thank you for listening to the first hour. We'll be back in the next hour. Jade will not be in from the Rec Center, so it's just going to be me, and we'll talk about a lot of stuff.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
This hour from Town Hall, I'm Rich Thomason. There is extensive property damage across parts of Mississippi after powerful storms, including at least one confirmed tornado, hammered the state last night. Forecasters warn of the possibility of more severe weather across the southeast through the end of the week. Iran says it's reviewing a new U.S. proposal to end the war as President Trump threatens more bombing if no deal is reached. The BBC's Peter Bowes.
President Trump is now calling the war with Iran a skirmish. He insists it's going very smoothly and that any hardship caused to Americans because of high fuel prices will be short-term and worth it to stop Iran's nuclear ambitions. His latest statements about the negotiations with Tehran have been optimistic but vague. But there are few outward signs of a deal being imminent. With tensions across the region, an agreement between Iran and the U.S. remains elusive.
Today's AAA national average for a gallon of regular gas, $4.55. That's up 2 cents. From yesterday, the California average, $6.16 a gallon. Russia's defense ministry reports its air defenses shot down 347 Ukrainian drones overnight. This major attack comes after Moscow rejected Kiev's ceasefire earlier in the week. Drones were destroyed over 20 Russian regions, including Moscow. Investigating corruption allegations, the FBI has searched an office of powerful Virginia Democratic State Senator Louise Lucas. The federal raid in Portsmouth stems from an alleged bribery scheme said to involve a marijuana dispensary business. Watching Wall Street this hour, stocks have now turned mixed. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 49 points, while the Nasdaq trading 62 points higher. The S&P 500 index is 2 points in the red. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Health insurance rates are surging in America, leaving millions without affordable options. If you're sick of having paychecks eaten up by healthcare costs or dealing with mega corporations, then listen to this. Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. That's why I want to tell you about Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's an alternative to traditional health insurance at half the cost. With CHM, fellow believers contribute monthly to help pay each other's medical bills. There's no enrollment period, so you can join anytime. And you aren't restricted to provider networks, so you choose the doctors and hospitals you want. It's that simple. CHM is not insurance. It's a ministry that puts faith into action. Feel the difference of financial support and biblical care from fellow believers. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
The leader of the largest country in South America visits President Trump today at the White House.
President Trump's posture toward Brazil and its current president has swung from negative when he imposed 50% tariffs last year and tied them to the prosecution of former President Jair Bolsonaro to this last October.
I think we'll be able to do some pretty good deals. We've been speaking, and I think we'll end up having a very good relationship. We always have had a good relationship.
Trump loosened those tariffs, and Brazil's finance minister says when President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva visits the White House Thursday, tariffs will be on his agenda. But so will cooperation in fighting organized crime and Brazil's rare earth deposits, the world's second largest. The finance minister says while foreign investment is welcome, Brazil also wants to develop those raw minerals domestically. I'm Ben Thomas.
More news and analysis at townhall.com. They're leaving no stone unturned in the hunt for a couple of Americans who disappeared in Northwest Africa.
Over 600 military personnel are still searching in Morocco for 2 U.S. Army soldiers who went missing Saturday night while taking part in an annual multinational military exercise called African Lion. Amid conflicting reports, the 2 are believed to have been on a recreational hike and may have fallen and been swept out to sea. The Moroccan Navy released video showing aircraft scanning the ocean, canine crews scouring a rocky shoreline, and divers looking in underwater caves. A U.S. defense official told the Associated Press the search has covered more than 17 square miles of ocean and coastline. I'm Jennifer King.
Chief Justice John Roberts defending what he suggests is the impartiality of the U.S. Supreme Court. He tells a judicial conference in Pennsylvania that the justices are not political actors, says they make decisions based on the law, not on their personal policy preferences. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Today's KSVIP is Pam Thurman. Pam works at HF Sinclair, and after 21 years, Pam is retiring, and you are certainly going to be missed. Congratulations. Here's wishing you a wonderful retirement. With love from your family. Today, Pam, you're going to receive a flower from Nell's Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Pam Thurman.
Welcome back, Artesia. It is Thursday, May 7th, 8 o'clock hour. I'm your host, Scott Pettis. We were supposed to have Jade in from the rec center. She's feeling a bit under the weather, so we pray she feels better soon. So I'm going to be filling this hour, me and Jeff. Here in a little bit, I want to play something for you guys. It's a video that kind of hit the internet, and it just really spoke to me, and I want you guys to hear what is said here. and then we'll spend the hour talking about it, and it ties right in with what I started the last hour with, and talking about being under authority, and how we're supposed to balance being under the authority of Christ and under the authority of man at the same time, and how we as Christians should portray our faith into the public's eye, into politics, into work, into all of those things. And so I want to make sure that we hear this and have a good time of discussion about it and bring it to the forefront. So, but before we do that, I want to jump to our weather and make sure that we know what's going on outside first. So, all right, here is the weather.
Ownership, custom solutions for your heavy equipment, hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will stay fairly cool today with high pressure moving in. A few clouds, but plenty of sunshine, and we're looking at mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear with upper 40s, and then we get a big warm up on Friday. We'll be back in the upper 80s and sunny. Looks like 90s for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Will stay sunny and breezy on Sunday, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Welcome back, Artesia. Hey, highs. Let's look at them. Hobbs 77, Roswell 78, Carlsbad 79, Artesia 78. Partly cloudy out there today. I didn't look like there was a whole lot of wind today, so that'll be nice. I don't know if you guys heard that wind last night. It was howling. It was kind of crazy late last night. So, but a little more mild temperatures out there today. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna start a recording or video here on our computer, and I want you guys to listen to what this guy has to say. So he's an Australian senator, and so he's on the floor. I'm not going to play the whole the actual video for you. We're just going to put up an image during it, but I want you to hear what he has to say about, as a politician coming into the Australian Senate, and how he's treated as a Christian and what his response is to that. So, all right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Senator Babette. Thank you, Acting Deputy President. Now, I'm regularly criticised for being overtly Christian. I'm told to keep my faith private, to leave it at the door of his chamber, to speak as though God is irrelevant and truth is negotiable. But I will not do that. I just will not, because I'm not merely a man with opinions. I'm a man under authority, and that authority is the authority of Christ and his church. And that changes everything. Everything. Now, Christianity is not a lifestyle. It's not a cultural accessory. It is a total claim on the human person, on the mind, on the conscience, and on the soul. And here's the reality that my critics refuse to admit. Every single person in this chamber serves a doctrine of some sort, every single one. Some serve God, others serve Marxist ideology, some serve the state, or maybe even public opinion. But no one is really neutral. So when I'm told to leave my faith behind, what I'm really being told is abandon your authority and submit to ours instead. No, I will not do that. I'll not trade eternal truth for political convenience. I won't bow to the false religion of relativism, because that is what we are really dealing with. Not the absence of religion, but the rise of a new one, a creed without God, a morality without foundation, a system that demands obedience and calls it tolerance. So let's just be clear. The claim that religion has no place in politics is itself a dogma, an exclusive claim, a coercive claim. So the question is not whether beliefs shape this place. They already do, we know that. The question is which truth will govern us, because when God is pushed aside, it is not neutrality that replaces him. It is power, power. And the most oppressive regimes in history did not honor Christ, they rejected Christ. And what followed was not freedom, but it was control, it was persecution, and it was really just suffering on an industrial scale. So don't tell me that taking God out of society makes it safer, it just makes it worse. But let's speak plainly about what Christianity actually claims. What does it claim? It claims that Jesus Christ is God, that he rose from the dead, that he established a church to teach truth in every single age. Just look at the king that we proclaim. He's not a tyrant, he's not a conqueror, he's a king that's crowned with thorns. A king that went on to forgive his executioners, a king who lays down his life for his enemies. You know what? That's strength. That is power rightly ordered. And that is the model Christianity calls us to follow. It's not weakness, it's not chaos, but it's disciplined strength, order toward truth and the good. Christianity also destroys the modern obsession with moral superiority, because no man earns salvation, no one stands above another. We are all in need of mercy, in need of grace, which means there is no room for the smugness, the posturing, the endless virtue signaling that now dominates public life. From that humility comes order, and from that order comes justice, and from that justice comes peace. So I ask you again, what kind of society does that produce? Because it sounds remarkably like the one that we all claim to want. So let's just be clear again. I'm not going to dilute my faith. I'm not going to pretend that truth is negotiable. I'm not going to speak as though Christ is optional, because I serve a higher authority than this chamber, than this place. And that authority does not and will never change with the polls, because a nation that rejects Christ does not become freer. It simply finds a new master, that's all. And some of you in this place, some of you don't serve the right master. I won't name names, but you know who you are.
All right. Powerful, right? There's a lot to unpack in that speech. There's a lot to discuss. But what we're going to do real quick is we're going to go ahead and go to a quick commercial break. Jeff's going to come in and we're going to dig through this a little bit. And I really want to have an earnest conversation about where we're sitting as a society, where we're sitting as Christians, how we've created a secular divine divide in our lives. And we believe that there can be some form of neutrality with an unbelieving, secular, materialist world, and how that's just not possible. So, all right, we'll talk about all of that right after this.
I'm Doug Turner, Republican for governor. Here in New Mexico, our oil and gas industry isn't just part of our economy, it's the backbone. It funds our schools, powers our communities, and provides thousands of good-paying jobs. But instead of supporting it, progressives like Deb Haaland want to shut it down. As governor, I won't let them. I'll stand with our energy industry, not punish it. Because when oil and gas succeed, New Mexicans win. I'm Doug Turner, Republican for governor. Everywhere I go in New Mexico, I see it. Potholes, crumbling sidewalks, dangerous roads. And every time I hear excuses from politicians who've done nothing for years. I'm Doug Turner, Republican for governor. I don't make excuses, I get results. As governor, I'll fix our roads, invest in infrastructure, and hold bureaucrats accountable so tax dollars benefit you, not politicians. We have the resources. It's time we use them to get the job done. I'm Doug Turner, and I approve this message. Paid for by Turner for New Mexico.
Do you have missing teeth or would like them replaced? If you think dental implants are not affordable, think again. At Maupin & Brown Dentistry, their goal has always been to provide the highest quality dentistry in a state-of-the-art office at a reasonable price. They routinely treat patients that have traveled out of town for a consultation but cannot afford the treatment quoted. Now, if this sounds like your story, come in today. As one of New Mexico's largest users of the world-class Nobel brand implants, they're able to purchase in volume. home and pass the savings on to you.
So, if you're missing a tooth or have loose dentures, call today for a free evaluation, which includes a free 3D x-ray. You'll be given treatment options with an honest evaluation with no hard sell or arm twisting. But don't take our word for it. Just ask one of the thousands of patients they've treated. Maupin and Brown Dentistry, your choice for experienced, affordable, state-of-the-art dentistry. Call 627-0141 or visit maupinbrown.com.
Are your taxes still on your to-do list? You're not the only one. But don't worry, H&R Block makes filing them fast and never a drain on your time. No matter if you meet with us in person or virtually. Plus, we're right in your neighborhood, giving you the convenience and confidence to cross those taxes off your list. So let us help lighten the load. Make an appointment at your neighborhood H&R Block today. 502 West Texas Avenue, Suite A, Artesia.
Got a tax refund coming? Put it to work at Reliable Tint in Artesia. The New Mexico sun is already heating things up, and professionally tinted windows can keep your vehicle cooler, protect your interior, and take the strain off your air conditioning. Reliable Tint also offers home and office window tinting to help save energy and protect your belongings from fading. And Reliable Tint handles auto glass replacements and repairs. Visit us at reliabletint.com. Reliable Tint. Stay cooler. Drive happier.
Mother's Day is this Sunday.
This is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
You can still make Mom's Day extra sweet with a pre-made or made-to-order blizzard cake from DQ on North Main in Roswell. A one-of-a-kind creation loaded with Mom's favorites like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Butterfinger, Oreo, Snickers, or whatever Mom wants. Or keep it simple. Swing by and pick up a pre-made blizzard cake loaded up with the good stuff. It's never been easier for Mom to have her cake and eat it too. Mother's Day blizzard cakes from the DQ on North Main in Roswell, making Mother's Day a little bit sweeter.
Around here, we don't ask for much, just the chance to work hard and take care of our families. But now with jobs on the line and values being pushed aside, that's getting hard to do. That's why Trinidad Malone is stepping up, fighting to protect oil-filled jobs, because it's not just work, it's putting food on the table. He stands with law enforcement, backs our veterans, and believes in our Second Amendment rights. Trinidad Malone for District 66.
I'm Trinidad Malone, and I approve this message.
Welcome back, Artesia. I hope you got a chance to listen to that. I hope you were listening in the last segment as we played this floor speech from Senator Babet from Australia. He is a senator from, I don't know if they call them states or provinces maybe, I don't know, Victoria, there in Australia. And that video went up about a month ago. It came across my feed earlier this week, and I immediately had to share it. And I text Jeff, can we play? How can we play this on the air? So like we talked about the technical piece of it and got it up and listened to it. Go back and listen to it again. Go back and listen over and over. It's on YouTube. All you got to do is put in Babet, Christ is King, as a search parameter. That thing's going to come up. And take time to sit and ponder on what the man is saying, because he's saying something into the public sphere that I think there's very few men willing to stand up in our country and do at this point. Mm-hmm. I don't know the rules of their Senate compared to ours, and I would assume that this could be done from the floor of our Senate, to some effect somehow. But I look at our American landscape, mm-hmm. and right now there's only a few guys off top of my head that have that kind of boldness with their faith in the public sphere. The first is a guy named Dusty Devers. And if you guys don't know Senator Representative Dusty Devers out of Oklahoma, I suggest you go look him up. and listen to him, because he's on the same level as this guy about the boldness of his faith there in the state Senate in Oklahoma. The other one is Senator Josh Hawley. He's bold with his faith. He doesn't mince words. Great conservative Christian man. The other one is Nick Freitas out of Virginia. He was a state senator. You guys might know Nick Freitas from he makes funny videos about marriage and stuff. It's kind of where I first saw him. He makes some pretty good stuff. He's got a comedic side, but he was a representative in Virginia. Now he lost his last run, so he's back out of politics, out of the public life there.
I didn't think Republicans were allowed to win in Virginia.
He won. I don't know if he won on a fluke last time, but this time, and he's been like highly critical of the government in Virginia. I mean, you watch a lot of his floor speeches. He just tears them down. He's like, "Are you guys nuts? Like, what are we doing to this state?" And so, but I've said it over and over on this radio show, and I don't hold back in public life. I've said it to people that are either trying to go in to get elected, or I've talked to a few of our governor candidates and said, I try to explain to them that, you're telling me you're a Christian. You have a boldness of faith when me and you are sitting here talking, but I don't see it in any of your advertising. You want to motivate, you want to drive a people that, for the large parts, say they are a Christian people. You want to bring them to the polls. You got to give them something that says, yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I will govern according to Christian values, and I'm not afraid to say that. There's a boldness in that.
Yeah.
And it's lacking. We just don't have it. I wanted to go through his speech and hit a few things. His opener, right off the bat, right? I'm regularly criticized for being overtly Christian. I'm told to keep my faith private, to leave it at the door of this chamber, to speak as though God is irrelevant and truth is negotiable. I will not do that. That statement alone, letting people know up front who you are, that's an open honesty. Do we see that much in our politicians anymore? A boldness of that, like, Christ is my king, and I answer to him first, right?
Like when you're saying earlier of the naming a few, like, I can count on my hand the federal side that I think Pete Hegseth has it.
Yeah, Pete is definitely one of those.
He is, and that's something that I think we all need, and people running for office need to show, not only speak their faith, but show it in their actions, in their words, in their legislation.
Talk is cheap.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap.
And we do need, it's like a friend of mine, John Randalls, he passed away from prostate cancer. Amazing missionary. Just amazing guy. He was going through chemo, and he got out of the hospital to fly to D.C. to open the session of Congress with prayer. And his wife was a little like, hey, you are in the last stages. This is difficult. He said, I know what's coming. I have the Lord, and I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the men and women leading our country, they need God. We all need God. And so he flew to D.C., opened the session of Congress with prayer, and I believe within a week he passed away.
Yeah.
But it was
Praise
that
God for that kind of,
we need,
powerful faith just displayed,
It was, his faith was inspiring.
Yeah.
He was the head of FCA for most of the, like, Texas Tech, TCU, OU, all of those, and he was, so we could get all the college shirts we wanted.
There's what he said. He says, I will not do that, right? He says after this, and this is his reasoning for saying, I will not act as if truth is negotiable and my faith is negotiable, and I'll leave it at the door. He says, I will not, because I'm not merely a man with opinions. I am a man under authority, and that authority is the authority of Christ and his church. We forget that. And I think some of that comes about because we shape our understanding of Christ in terminology that we don't necessarily understand, we don't really use correctly, right? They say, oh, I follow Jesus, right? What does that mean? Well, I follow him makes it sound like this is like, well, this is a voluntary thing. It's this thing I choose to do. This is just about me, and this is how I choose to live my life. Well, you live your life as you want, as if there's some neutrality. No, you're not just following him as like, oh, okay, hey, Jesus, go on ahead, I'll catch up with you later type following. No, this is you are a disciple, and that's what the word follow means. What's up? Jeff sells something technical, he's got to go fix it, right? But when we say we follow Christ, what we're talking about is following him as a disciple. And if we look at the ancient, the first century Judaism, and at that time, they would say rabbis, right? They called Jesus a rabbi, a teacher, and meaning they followed him, that they walked in his footsteps. And they walked as he walked. They went where he went. They lived as he lived. They ate as he ate. They shaped their entire life around everything that was his. And not just that, but that person was their authority in life. And that's what he's talking about. I'm under the authority of Christ. He is my ruler. He is my king. He tells me how I am to live. And it's not just a voluntary, I like the guy, so I'm going to hang out with him. No, it's this is the authority of my life, and he tells me to live this way. So when I go to Scripture, and I read in Acts where Peter and the apostles are told to quit preaching, and they're like, we obey God and not man.
Yeah.
In that thing, right? And so we set in that position of our allegiance, our primary allegiance, really our only allegiance, is to Christ. And how we do everything else in our life is defined by how he tells us to do it. But we kind of focused in on the political, the governance side of it. We don't just need that kind of boldness in governance. We need that at every level of governance, from our homes to our jobs to our schools. We need bold men in every one of those areas to stand up and say what this guy said. I'm under the authority of Christ.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher, and you're telling me to teach this. No, I will not do it, because Christ says that's not true. I'm not going to teach an untruth to children. I don't care what the government curriculum says. If that costs you your job, then we go back to 1 Peter, where give me just a second. I hate butchering stuff. It is the will of God that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people, right? By doing good and doing what is right, we show the ignorance of the unbelieving world, right? And it stands out. It becomes blatant in everyone else's eyes.
Yeah.
It's interesting in 1 Peter, it goes on after that, and it's talking to servants, and it's talking about, for this is a gracious thing when mindful of God, one endures sorrow while suffering unjustly. For what credit is it when you sin, you are beaten for it and you endure, but when you do good and suffer for it, you endure. This is a gracious thing in the sight of God. We might suffer for doing what is right and doing what is good. You could be fired for saying what you're saying. But doing what is right at all costs is what is good, and that's what we're called to do in Christ. All right, go ahead.
Got one thing. When I think, like, people, I'm following Christ. We're Christian. I'm following Christ. A lot of people, it seems, follow Christ in the same way you follow someone on Twitter,
Facebook. Yeah.
Where it's okay. I'm following them. I'm seeing what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm
and
stealing
if they
that,
say
by the way.
something I like, then I'll retweet it.
Yeah.
And not actually doing it. Just, oh, that's really cool. I like that. Virtual signaling, whatever you want to call it. Instead of actually following Christ, as in reading the Bible, having a discussion with him, and making your choices based on the blueprint he laid out for us in the Bible.
Yeah. By the way, I'm stealing that. I love that. Following Christ is not like following him on Facebook. But you're right. People retweet or repost the things they like that he says. But on the things he doesn't, they don't care for what he's saying because it bumps up against their worldview that they've been indoctrinated in through their education system and through the media and through what they've been entertained with. When they don't like that, then they kind of hide that. They hide that post, and they I don't want people to know he said that. Oh my goodness, Jesus said that. I can't let people know that.
Right.
Or, and basically what you're doing is you're creating your own Christ.
Yeah.
You're creating your own God. You're breaking the second commandment. You're making an idol that you're bowing down to, and it's not Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If you can't take the fullness of his word and apply it in your life, and agree with everything that he says in Scripture, because if you guys don't know, the red letters aren't just Jesus. Everything from Genesis 1 to Revelation 22 is his words, by the way, and everything in between. So, when you run up against those things, you don't ask Jesus to change what he said. You change how you see the world and understand that most likely you're misunderstanding the world that he's created. All right, hey, we're going to take our mid-hour news break, and then we'll come back, and we're going to pick back up a little bit more with this speech.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. There is extensive property damage across parts of the southeast after powerful storms, including tornadoes, pounded the region. Mississippi, particularly the southern part of the state, especially hard hit. Iran claims to be reviewing a new U.S. proposal to end the war as President Trump threatens more bombing if no deal is reached. Today's AAA national average for a gallon of regular gas is $4.55. That's up a couple of pennies from yesterday. The California average, $6.16 a gallon. Russia's defense ministry reports its air defenses shot down 347 Ukrainian drones overnight. This major attack comes after Moscow rejected Kiev's ceasefire earlier in the week. Drones were destroyed over some 20 Russian regions, including Moscow. More details, srnnews.com.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning, I'm John Terrett. Oil prices fell and stocks rose on Wednesday on optimism that a one-page peace document drafted will be acceptable to Washington and Tehran. The Dow was up 1.2%, flirting with 50,000 again. The Nasdaq up 2%, S&P 500 up 1.4%, closing above 7,300 for the first time. Oil was back $1 a barrel at the global level, down from about 113 or 14 earlier this week. The Walt Disney Company stock was up 7.5% yesterday, which is a lot for a company whose stock tends to hover and be fairly stable. Wall Street sees that most of its divisions show solid earnings growth. CVS Health blew past estimates and hiked its guidance as its insurance business, formerly known as Aetna, overperformed. CVS Health up 8%. Uber jumped 8% too on higher than expected revenue and trips. Sony Music is buying Recognition, one of the world's largest music catalogs, from Blackstone, featuring Justin Bieber and Neil Young, among many others, for almost $4 billion. The idea is for Sony to monetize the music in advertising and many other uses. Sony up 3% yesterday. And Anthropic has inked a deal to use all of SpaceX AI's Colossus One computing capacity at its data center in Memphis, Tennessee. With business, I'm John Terrett.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
And now, Uncle Otis at large. What if your Uncle Otis was the voice you hear on that thing that tells you directions, like how to find your house?
Go home to Mom's house.
Okay, directions to your mama's house. In 500 feet, you'll wish you had directions to the Sugar Shack, which is a lot more fun. Would you like directions to the Sugar Shack?
What the hell? Who is this?
Don't worry about that. You want to go or not? I don't have all day to fool around, so just say Sugar Shack, 2222 22nd and Caliber Street in the back. To start route guidance, just say, hell yeah, then watch what happens.
I don't know who this is, but you need to stop right now and get the lady back.
Not sure I can help with get the lady back. That was not understood. Say cancel to give up. Or just go to your mama's house to feel sorry for yourself. Or we can always go to the Sugar Shack. You pick, cowboy.
I don't know what you're trying to pull here, but this is not real. Put the lady back on or connect me to your boss right now. Or wait, take me to the nearest place to vote.
Whole Foods or the gun range? All the same to me, pal. Oh, and looky there. You're all out of gas. Too bad. But I know it's not your fault. It's the asphalt. We're recalculating your route.
Weird, I know. It's Uncle Otis.
That was pretty cool.
At large.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your... It'll stay fairly cool today with high pressure moving in. A few clouds, but plenty of sunshine, and we're looking at mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear with upper 40s, and then we get a big warm up on Friday. We'll be back in the upper 80s and sunny. Looks like 90s for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Will stay sunny and breezy on Sunday, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Welcome back, Artesia. Hey, I've never done illicit drugs. I've never taken acid, but I'm pretty sure if you did, it sounds a lot like listening to Uncle Otis. That was the most confusing thing. It's fun to listen to, but man, that's crazy. All right, hey, let's jump back in. Jeff's going to come back in here, and I want to pick back up with this topic. I want to carry out the rest of this hour. I want to dig more into this speech. So if you happen to just be tuning in, or previously in the hour, we listened to a speech by a Australian senator by the name of Babet, B-A-B-E-T. It's called Christ is King, and it was a speech he gave on the floor of Senate there, and it was powerful. It's the kind of boldness that I think if we can foster that level of boldness in all of our lives, not just from the halls of governance, but in every corner of our lives, if we can take and think in the way he's speaking and take that kind of boldness. And what I want to jump to next is a point he made in there. He says that everybody in here serves some kind of doctrine. Now, he puts it a little gentler than I do. I put it in this form. Everybody serves some kind of God. Mm-hmm. It's either the one true living God or a God of their own making. And he lists them out. As Marxists, he goes, some of you serve God. Some of you serve Marxist ideology. Some of you serve the state, or even some of you serve the God that I describe as demos. Or democracy, the will of the people. Mm-hmm. When we hold up the will of the people as the highest good, we've turned the joint will of all the people into a God that we have to serve in order to please that God. And he goes, so when I'm told to leave my faith behind, what I'm really being told is abandon your authority and submit to ours. Mm-hmm. That's a profound statement, ladies and gentlemen. You need to think of that. When you're commanded to leave your faith aside, well, we can't talk about God in the classroom. Well, we can't talk about God at work. then what you're saying is, hey, our authority is higher than your God's authority. Are you willing to admit that? Are you willing to say, you're absolutely right. Let me not talk about my God because your authority says I can't. Your authority is higher than his. And so I'm going to abandon what he's told me to do. And I'm going to do exactly what Peter and the apostles refused to do. I'm going to obey man over God.
Right.
We have created a false religion in this state. We live, our governance lives under a false religion of neutrality and relativism. And that's where we're caught at. And the truth of it is, I don't know how to change it. I do actually know how to change it as a nationwide repentance. But that's only going to happen from bottom up. It cannot happen from top down. Mm-hmm. I can't go into the halls of Congress and force everyone to repent and turn to God. It's through the spread of the gospel. It's through each one of us living, or you said it earlier about this man, living out his faith.
Yeah.
And if each one of us that proclaims to be a Christian, each one of us that goes to church on Sundays, each one of us that has the Christian bumper stickers and puts up Bible verses on their Facebook, if we started living according to this principle here, I will not bow to your God, I only serve mine, in every corner of our life, in our governance, local governance, in our schools, and everything else, that would be the change that would precipitate a nationwide change. It has to start small. He says we serve in a system that demands obedience and calls it tolerance. Let's just be clear. The claim that religion has no place in politics is itself a dogma, a religious teaching, an exclusive claim, a coercive claim. So the question is not whether beliefs shape this place. They already do, and we know that. The question is which truth will govern us. Because when God is pushed aside, it is not neutrality that replaces him. It is power. Power in the most, and then he goes on to talk about the most oppressive regimes were those who denied Christ. That's the case. Yeah. It's power. And what's interesting in Greek, that word power and the word authority are the same word, exousia.
Oh.
So often when you're reading through Scripture and you see authority over here and you see power over here, it's the same word in Greek. They're just utilizing it for its different meaning of that word. Lots of times we narrow the meanings of our words down, and we miss that.
And I've gotten into a few discussions. One of my friends, now ex-husbands, was an atheist. And when it got brought up in a conversation that I was not really a part of, but in, and the gentleman was telling the rest that we need to stop talking about God. We need to stop pushing Christianity, this and that. And it's like, okay, Jesus Christ is our Lord, our God. Your religion is atheism. That is your religion. I am not. It's your belief system. It's what you're trying to instill on everyone around you. This is your religion. And then he changed subjects.
Very quickly, when you point out to someone who, atheist, of course, is the most broad, but even Christians who say, well, our Christian faith can't define public morality. Then what does? Something is defining the morality under which we live.
Yeah.
Are you going to choose morality to be defined as the will of the populace? How did that work out in Germany?
Yeah.
Right? The will of the people defined their morality, and they were able to slaughter millions of people because they said it was good. The same thing. We're slaughtering millions of people since the 1970s. We're in a constant push to a mass genocide of American people by aborting millions upon millions of children. Because we said the will of the people is to define this as a good thing and not murder.
Yeah. Well, and that's something I was reading. Gen Z, about a third of the Gen Z population was aborted. And so they're like about 17 million human beings, part of Gen Z, were killed before they're able to experience real life.
Yeah.
And sorry, I don't know where I was.
It's
I
fine.
got caught up in
But that point is this: it follows with his speech. He talks about the most oppressive regimes in history. Right? They rejected Christ, and what followed was not freedom. It was control. It was persecution, and it was really just suffering on an industrial scale. Just because we don't see the kind of suffering you get in third world countries and stuff doesn't mean there isn't suffering in this nation. Millions and millions of Americans have been murdered in the womb at their most vulnerable point in life and destroyed, over decades. That's oppression, right? We have fallen under the oppression of the will of a people who are not moral. I spoke about this here a while back to someone is what is freedom, right? Well, freedom is only found in the God who grants it. Freedom is to walk in Christ and walk in his law. That's where true freedom is found. Everything outside of that is oppression to sin, oppression to another God. You will serve a God, whether you call it that or not. You're serving a God. You want to serve the one and true loving God, the one who gives us just laws, and the one who guides our lives, provides our blessings, makes the rain fall upon the just and the unjust alike? Or do you want to serve the gods that the world has built up around you?
That's this meme that I was going to send you. There's a woman holding a baby in front of like a stone god or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's holding the baby. She says, "Sacrificing you will bring us a better harvest."
Yeah.
And then below that, it shows a pregnant woman by a hospital bed.
Yeah.
"Aborting you will give me a better future."
Yeah. It's child sacrifice. The sacrament of the age at this point is child sacrifice in order to obtain to a better life or a better thing. I like his essentially presentation of the gospel. He says, what does Christianity claim? It claims that Jesus Christ is God. He rose from the dead. He established a church to teach truth in every single age. Just look at the king that we proclaim. He is not a tyrant. He's not a conqueror. He's a king crowned with thorns, a king that went on to forgive his executioner, a king who lays down his life for his enemies. He goes, you know what? That's strength. That is true power, rightly ordered. And that is the model Christianity calls us to follow. That's what we must understand. A sacrificial authority. That's what I'm preaching on this weekend is Christ has real authority in this world. And if you want to see how he executed his authority, how he lived out his authority, we look to his Gospels and how did he live his life. He took the power that he possesses, so like I said, power and authority, same word. He took that power, he took that authority, and he used it to serve and to care for those under his authority. That's authority rightly ordered.
Yeah.
And that's a king we serve. And so we got a few minutes here before I need to go to the next commercial break and break for the hour. And we'll wrap up with kind of this thought is we need to engender a boldness in our own lives. And it starts right there in our own homes. And then it carries into our workplace. It carries into our schools. It carries into every corner of our lives. And when we do that on an individual scale, but as a community, as a mass group of people, our church is committed to this kind of living, and we're going to go out and live it. And we hope that other people see it, and they come, and those numbers grow, and that as the church grows, and we reach more people by living out this gospel, living under authority of Christ, and and regardless of what comes, whether it's good or bad, we're all going to have stages in life where things are going really well.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have stages in life where we're laying in a hospital bed with our head broken off, But in all of that, we're still submitted to the authority of the one who controls everything. That's my encouragement to people. Listen, why are you fearful? Why are you fearful of man? What has got you scared so much that you're not willing to say this? I think one of the biggest things is the way our society has moved and shifted over the past 100 years. How people feel has become an idol.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say that because it might hurt someone's feelings, might upset them. Then they may not be my friend. Then they may not do business with me. Then they may not this. And if I, the highest good is making sure no one feels bad. Man, that is a dangerous road to go down, because Scripture tells us the heart is deceptive above all things.
You're reinforcing the fact that mentality of they are their own God.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I don't want to upset. The concept of autonomy. I'm my own God. I determine right from wrong. And if you dare cross into what I say is wrong, then I will be angry. You don't have real authority and power in this world. Only God does. And that's the one I'm fearful of angering.
Right. I'm not as worried about upsetting the mentally disabled person who thinks they're the wrong whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to entertain that. And I'm going to say that's not real.
Yeah. But that is the greatest stigma in our nation at this point, is people's feelings and how they feel about this and how they feel about that. And will I upset them? Will they fire me? Will they... Come what may, I'm going to stand upon an absolute objective truth that God has laid out for me, and I'm not going to. And so I commend this man. Let's hope it's contagious.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Yeah, I'll turn it off whenever you...
Yeah, and he goes, the model Christianity calls us to follow. It's not weakness. It's not chaos. It is disciplined strength, order towards truth and good. Christianity also destroys the modern obsession with moral superiority, because no man earns salvation. No one stands above another. We're all in need of mercy and in need of grace. And I think that's, that's where your mind has to go to. I'm not absolutely right.
Yeah.
But I know the one who is. And I go to his word, and I go to his authority, and I go to what he says, and that's who I trust in, because I'm a complete mess.
Yeah.
And so, any last words, Jeff? We got about a minute to close out and make sure. Yeah, we've got 4 minutes of commercials sitting there. There's a lot going on outside. And,
I'll go take care of some other stuff.
And I'll let you go, Jeff. Thank you so much for coming in and joining me, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, or if you just caught the last end of what we're saying, I just encourage you, go to YouTube, look up Senator Babette, Christ is King, listen to his speech, listen to what he says, pull up the transcript on it, read through it, and ponder on the words of a Christian man who is so boldly and openly sharing his faith with everyone around him, especially in the halls of governance, and he's doing it without shame. He's doing it without fear, because he knows the one he serves. He knows the authority under whom he sits, and he will not cross that authority. He will not deny that Christ is King in all the earth, our church. And so, all right, thanks for listening, and we'll be back right after this.
Mother's Day is one of those special days. Yet, Mother's Day can mean different things to different people. For many, it's a chance to get together with Mom, to go to church together or enjoy lunch, a time of hugs, stories, and fun. For some, whose mothers are no longer here, it may be a time for both tears and smiles, with fond memories of times past. For others, whose mothers gave them birth but have been absent since, there may be very little joy associated with the relationship. They did, however, give you life, a precious and wonderful gift. And there's some who've never known the blessing of giving birth themselves, yet they have been mother to many in life who needed warmth and love and a gentle caress. To every mother, mom, mama, and mommy, thank you. Have a very happy and wonderful Mother's Day from the family at Hermosa Church of Christ.
Please vote for Dan Lewis, Conservative Republican for State House District 66. God, family, and community come first for me. Just like the values I was raised on here in New Mexico, a proud Artesia resident for 50 years, I've raised my family in this great community, earned my MBA from New Mexico State. I'll fight Santa Fe for the common sense solutions that protect our citizens from the woke policies and restore America's founding principle. Dan Lewis for District 66.
Damn right, Dan's the man.
Paid for by Dan Lewis for State Representative.
Looking for a school where your child is known, valued, and challenged? Enrollment for the 26-27 school year is now open at Artesia Classical Academy. Experience a Christ-centered classical curriculum in a strong, supportive community. With a 4-day school week, families gain flexibility without sacrificing excellence. Students learn Latin, Spanish, and American Sign Language and participate in STEM, PE, art, and music. Plus, nature learning days and community service help students grow beyond the classroom. Visit artesiaclassicalacademy.org or call 247-1378 today.
It is much easier to prevent business fraud than to clean up the damage after fraudulent activities. First American Bank is committed to introducing the newest technology and treasury management solutions. With First American Bank as your business partner, we can help you with our recommended fraud prevention products and best practices to proactively keep your business finances more secure. Talk to a banker today to find out more. First American Bank, your local first community bank since 1903. Member FDIC.
Hungry for flavor? Since 1965, La Fonda in Artesia has been serving up some of the most inventive New Mexican dishes around. From rich, slow-cooked red and green chili to sizzling carne avocada, every bite is tradition with a twist.
That chicken enchilada plate, so spicy, so comforting, just what I needed.
Come visit us at 210 West Main in Artesia or call 575-746-9377. We're open Monday through Friday from 11 till 2 and 4:30 to 8. Closed on weekends. Treat yourself to something local. La Fonda, where flavor feels like home. Worried about your belongings? At Champion Storage, we take security seriously. With sturdy fencing, digital cameras, and individual gate codes for every customer. Getting started is easier than ever. Choose your unit, sign up online in minutes, and your gate code will be delivered instantly, so you can get access right away. It's secure, convenient storage made simple. Go to championstorage.com, reserve your space, and relax, knowing your stuff is safe.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 5,700 current Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success, that's what we're about.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
Oil prices have come down as the world awaits Iran's answer to a U.S. proposal aimed at ending the war. President Trump says Iran has already agreed to abandon its quest for nuclear weapons. He's threatening a resumption of bombing if a deal is not agreed to.
And we have to get what we have to get. If we don't do that, we'll have to go a big step further. But with that being said, they want to make a deal. We've had very good talks over the last 24 hours.
Meantime, the U.S. military continues enforcing the blockade on Iranian ports. Forecasters are warning of the possibility of more severe weather across the southeast in the coming few days. There's a lot of property damage in southern Mississippi after a storm roared across parts of the region, including at least one confirmed tornado. Dutch authorities say about 40 passengers on the cruise ship at the center of a hantavirus outbreak previously disembarked after the first passenger had died.
The dozens of passengers, including the wife of a Dutchman who died, left the cruise ship during a stop at the British territory. The cruise company that operates the ship previously said the Dutch woman had got off the ship with her husband's body at St. Helena. She then flew to South Africa on a commercial plane. However, the company has not acknowledged that anyone else got off the boat. Dutch authorities have not confirmed where the passengers who disembarked are now. Authorities in South Africa and Europe are trying to trace contacts of any passengers who actually got off the ship. 3 passengers have died in the outbreak on board, and several others are sick. I'm Charles Villadesma.
Secretary of State Rubio has met with Pope Leo at the Vatican discussing the situation in the Middle East. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 20 points, while the Nasdaq trading 163 points higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Kirk Cameron. Is health insurance eating up your budget for 2026? If you're looking for ways to better steward your finances, consider this: Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a health insurance alternative at half the cost. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. While insurance companies tell you when to join, what to pay, and where to go, CHM is different. As a ministry, CHM allows you to share the burden of medical bills with other Christians. You can enroll, switch programs, or leave at any time. Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a world of difference. CHM has 4 flexible programs. You can pick any certified doctor, surgeon, or hospital that you want for eligible care. So make the switch. Take your paycheck back from health insurance this year. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
A South Korean appeals court has cut 8 years from the sentence of ex-Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, sent to prison over the brief imposition of martial law.
The judge upheld most of earlier verdicts against Han, ruling that the former prime minister gave the sheen of legitimacy to the martial law attempt. Han had convened the cabinet and prepared documents required for the martial law. But the judge had also pointed out that Han's more than 50 years of public service and the passive nature of his cooperation merits leniency. 15 years is still a lengthy sentence for the 76-year-old bureaucrat.
The BBC's Jay Kwan. The polls are open for midterm, local, and regional elections. It could significantly impact British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Starmer's Labour Party is bracing for losses in elections across England, as well as Scotland and Wales. News and analysis at townhall.com. DoorDash expects to spend more than $50 million to help ease the gas pains being felt by its delivery drivers.
The San Francisco-based company said in March that it would offer extra compensation to U.S. and Canadian drivers as part of a temporary program to offset a sharp increase in gas prices due to the Iran war. DoorDash said demand for deliveries remained strong in the January to March period despite higher gas prices. Total orders rose 27% to 933 million, but that fell short of Wall Street's forecast. First quarter revenues also fell short of expectations. Keith Peters, Washington.
Budget airline AirAsia is ordering 150 Airbus A220-300 jets valued at roughly $19 billion. This is the largest single order ever placed for the A220 series of planes. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Today's KSVIP is Pam Thurman. Pam works at HF Sinclair, and after 21 years, Pam is retiring, and you are certainly going to be missed. Congratulations. Here's wishing you a wonderful retirement. With love from your family. Today, Pam, you're going to receive a flower from Nell's Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Pam Thurman.
Welcome back, Artesia. Hey, we're now joined in studio by Miss Destiny Rojo. How are you, ma'am?
Doing well, thank you.
And she's coming in. She's going through all the different hats she wears, and she's like, okay, today I'm putting on my Artesia Main Street hat, and so she's coming in to talk to us a little bit about that. So what's happening with Artesia Main Street?
Well, a lot of exciting things. First, I would like to say it's Small Business Week.
Yay!
Which, as I was thinking about it, I kind of wonder if Small Business Week is falls on the same weekend as Mother's Day, so that people go out and shop.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
So if you have not, we have a lot of small businesses in Artesia. So if you have not bought anything for the mom in your life, our downtown is open and ready to help you find a gift. We have wonderful shops. All of our shops were open as of yesterday, so they have all tiered schedules. So whether it's shopping and going and getting a gift card at one of the salons, or a massage or a facial for moms, or going and shopping at one of our boutiques, at the antique store, sweet confections for some sweet treats.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of small businesses in town that and on Main Street, of course, yes, but off of Main Street as well. There's tons of places where you can go get some really cool Mother's Day gifts. Guys, don't forget your wives or mother, that have children, their mothers too. Go get them. Your 5-year-old can't go buy a gift for his mom. So.
Well, and I will say, I think one of the best places to buy a card is Honey Depot. They have some of the best honey cards or just sweet cards.
They got some fun cards over there.
Not in the Main Street district, but
exactly.
So with that though, also, we have a lot happening downtown this weekend. Renewed Wellness is having their annual Mother's Day
I forgot.
morning market. And then the Ocotillo is going to have a mother, or a mommy and me tea party at the Ocotillo on Saturday as well. And then from 3:30 to 7:30, Artesia Main Street is hosting its first oil patch market of the year.
Yeah, it's time. Spring
Ready
is
to
here, and go down to the oil patch market and check out all that's going to be happening down there.
Yes, so we have contracted Gabby Chronopoulos to lead the oil patch markets this year. So she's going to be every second Saturday of the month. She'll be managing those. We also use now JotForm to register, and on there you can pay. Children and nonprofits are free, and I believe it does give you that option.
Yeah, it does. You go on there, you can click which category you're in, and it's funny though, when it's free, you still have to hit one of the pay buttons. I was like, why isn't it working?
Oh, well,
yes. But you click it, you just click a pay button, and it doesn't charge you anything, and it's done. Yeah.
So we have over 40 vendors signed up.
Awesome.
Which is great. A great start to the year. We'll be going until December. The only month that we'll be skipping is October, because we do it every second Saturday of the month. The second Saturday in October is Art in the Park. So we're going to encourage everyone to go to
it instead. Yeah.
Go to Art in the Park instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So that's a maker's market.
Yeah.
So that one is.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
So we're really going to encourage everyone in October to go there. But Saturday, it'll be in the evening. Gabby kind of polled some of the vendors, and they really liked the afternoon, evening.
Yeah, I think the afternoon, evening. Yeah, we're one of the ones that voted afternoon, evening. Yeah, because especially if you're a small business and you're going out there as well, it's easier to finish up at one place and go over there rather than try to run two locations.
Well, and also for some of the people who are baking. They were having to get up really early to bake. And make sure,
that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're baking fresh baked goods to sell out there, have them in the afternoon and the evening. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if it'll stay afternoon or evening, but for now, that's what it'll be, at least in the summertime.
Great.
And Gabby will communicate with everyone. She did want me to let you all know that, all of the updates will be on the Facebook page.
Great.
She'll be posting, when vendors can load in. For those who needed to pay day of, there will be the opportunity to do so.
Awesome.
So you can pay cash. And then...
that thing really grew last year. I mean, it started off with just a few of us out there, but I mean, the very last one of the year, that place, you couldn't find another place to put a tent. It was packed.
No, and it's so wonderful. So I actually did the reporting. I'm the board president of Main Street.
Yeah.
I was elected in January, and I had to do some reporting for our national accreditation. And our oil patch market last year, with all of our vendors, totaled about $67,000 in
Wow.
revenues
That's great.
for those, what was it, 10 markets that we did? Or
Yeah.
9
Yeah.
markets?
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
so
really,
crazy
really
that
good.
something like that could create such a
Yeah, it's,
great income.
yeah, it helps, especially for those people that are just, don't have a storefront. They're just selling, like to get up there and have that place to, sell their stuff and not have to wait, for 2 or 3 markets a year. And we got one every single month.
Mhm.
That's really good to know.
Yes, well, and so, I mean, really on Saturday, you can just plan to be out on Main Street all day. I mean, you could
Yeah.
go to Renewed Wellness, do that market, walk
Mhm.
on down. I believe Benny's has been doing something
Yeah.
on Saturdays as well. So
Yeah.
you can go stop by Benny's, stop by the antique store,
Mhm.
and then make your way down for the Oil Patch Market at 3:30. So.
Yeah, get all your Mother's Day shopping
All
done
your Mother's Day
right there.
shopping, yes.
There's tons of stuff you can buy.
And then you can start probably for some Father's Day stuff
Yeah.
at the Oil Patch Market. I mean,
Yeah.
there'll be some Mother's Day things, but
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And then let's see, trying to think. We have local boutique vendors with clothing. We'll have some sweet treat and dessert vendors with baked goods and specialty snacks. And then Get Smashed will be there serving burgers.
awesome,
So always
awesome.
a great time when Get Smashed is
Oh,
there.
man, they're amazing.
They're so good.
Marty will be so happy.
Yeah.
It's one of the food trucks that was, she can eat at.
Well, they were here. They were open on Monday, I
Yeah.
believe. The line was so long, I didn't even get a chance to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have spent my whole lunch hour waiting.
Yeah, they came out to our Wads for Warriors. And I mean, people, it was just lined up. Yeah,
I will say though, they run a tight ship. It's pretty quick.
they do.
So even if the line is long.
Yeah, they're turning out burgers fast.
Yes, they are.
They're an impressive team.
Yeah, so I think we're just really excited for the Oil Patch Market to kind of start up on Saturday, and with 40 plus vendors already,
Yeah.
I just think I'm a little nervous that we might outgrow the space, but I mean, we'll just try to accept as many people as we can.
We'll figure it out, right?
We'll figure it out. So.
Yeah, we'll be out there with a ton of green chili, of course.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we've got a ton of green chili plants right now. We're going to bring some other stuff, of course, from the store. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun time.
Well, I'm actually really excited because when this first started, it started every Tuesday in the summer.
Yeah.
You remember Tuesday
Yeah.
evenings, which was
That
really
Tuesday
cool,
was-
and that was really fun.
Yeah.
And last year when we moved it to the second Saturday of the month, the first year, it really was kind of like a carb fest with a
Yeah.
couple of plants.
Yeah.
But
It was. There was a lot of sweets out
a
there.
lot of sweets, a lot of breads, which is great and fantastic. And I bought bread there
Yeah.
every week and cookies.
Yeah.
But last year, I really started to see, we had some people bringing flowers. We
Yeah.
started having some people bring some vegetables and things.
Yeah.
So throughout the year.
I mean, I know the last couple, there was some guys out there selling homemade knives.
Yes.
The beef jerky family, we
Beef
love them.
jerky family.
they've got some phenomenal beef jerky and all kinds of crafts and everything else. It's really cool.
Yeah, so I'm just really grateful for the community to come and
Mhm.
support and to do this in Main Street. I mean, I really think it's a great opportunity for anyone who's been wanting to kind of start a business. I think it's a really great kind of jumping start of trying
Yeah.
to build a clientele. And
Yeah,
I know
it
a
is.
few people have, and they've been able to get from there some private bookings for their baked goods and for
Mhm.
other things. So that's really wonderful.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to go to, I don't remember the website off. Is it just artesiamainstreet.com?
Yes, sir.
Okay, artesiamainstreet.com. Go on there. I know it was right there on the front page. You could click it, go in there, you fill out the little form, sign up for it, and then Saturday evening, go out there and make some money. It's a good time. And if you're not a vendor, come out and shop because there's like a wide array of stuff and great food.
Yes, wide array. And again, Gabby will be posting on the Facebook page either today or tomorrow,
Mhm.
times to load in,
Yeah.
what time vendors should be expected to be there, and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So hopefully, it looks like it'll be good as far
Yeah.
as weather. It's been really nice.
It's going to be warm, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any wind or anything that afternoon. It's
So hopefully
pretty
it
calm
stays that way.
afternoon. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that'll be nice. So what else is going on with Main Street? We got a few more minutes to fill. So what else is happening with the Main Street group right
So
now?
we're still hiring an executive director.
Yeah.
So please, apply if you think you might be a good fit. We do. Our board has been really great, and they've been, we've divided the tasks
Yeah, the
So
board's kind of carrying the load right now.
Yes.
You guys are kind of having to, and most of you, everybody else, you got other careers, you got other stuff going on. You guys are doing the heavy lifting right now. So if you're out there and you would like to look and see if you'd fit that job, did they just reach out to you or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, if they could just go, it's info@artesiamainstreet.com.
Okay.
That's what we've been having people send things to.
Okay.
And it is it's a full-time job. It's has a little bit of flexibility in that if you're in the office 24/7, then you're not really doing Main Street job because you should be on Main Street or in the community doing different things. So it is full-time, and there are events coming up. We have contracted for Red Dirt Black Gold. We've contracted that out, and we've contracted again our oil patch markets. But we still have Trick or Treat Main Street coming up, and also Light Up Artesia.
Yeah. So if you're worried about the workload, don't, because they're going to hire you an assistant, but they have to hire you first before they can hire an assistant.
And the board is just really good. I mean, so we still have been doing bookings at the 510, so you can still rent the 510, the back end.
It's a nice little space to set up and do stuff in.
It is. We had to increase our fees only because our fees were not really covering the cost of what it costs to clean the linens and then to also clean the office before and after an event.
Yeah.
And so we did have to increase the fees just so that we could make a little bit of profit. Really, all of it was going to the cleaning fees.
We still got to fund Main Street,
Yes.
and so pay the bills, make a little money on there so that you can fund this endeavor. And you guys do a lot downtown, trying to make the downtown attractive and trying to do events and keep people engaged and driven to the local businesses. So
Yes, and we really want, and I mean, I know, and the board knows, like, we really haven't been able to be boots on the ground with some of our small businesses here in the downtown. I've tried to go in here and there, but we really do appreciate them, and we think they're doing a really great job. And we're just so grateful that they're in our district. Bandit Body has been doing so good. They're looking for a larger space because they've kind of outgrown their current space. And who would have known a Pilates studio would have been doing as great as it's doing here, right?
That's wonderful.
It's wonderful. We're really grateful to all of our merchants downtown and to our community for continuing to come and support. And everyone's been such good community partners, and so we're just so grateful, and we look forward to having someone steering the ship very soon.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in working there, get in contact with them. info@mainstreet.com, artesiamainstreet.com. And if you want to be a vendor this weekend, same location, jump on there, fill that out, and come join us. We're going to have a great time Saturday night.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. We have a Bluetooth speaker. We'll have some music out there. So
starts at 3:30, right?
Starts at 3:30.
Yeah, so 3:30 to
7.
3:30 to 7, we'll be out there. Plenty of stuff to buy. Lots of fun. Oh, yeah, music. You'll have some music going. And
7:30. 3:30 to 7:30.
3:30 to 7:30. Okay, 3:30 to 7. So I can be home by 9.
You can be home by 9, yeah.
So awesome. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for coming in, and best of luck on this thing this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
We're excited.
All right. God bless.
Bye-bye.
This is Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will stay fairly cool today with high pressure moving in. A few clouds, but plenty of sunshine, and we're looking at mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear with upper 40s, and then we get a big warm up on Friday. We'll be back in the upper 80s and sunny. Looks like 90s for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Will stay sunny and breezy on Sunday, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Integrity and knowledge, J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency, auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial, bonds too, since 1925, we have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 5,700 current Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success, that's what we're about.
Around here, we don't ask for much, just the chance to work hard and take care of our families. But now with jobs on the line and values being pushed aside, that's getting hard to do. That's why Trinidad Malone is stepping up, fighting to protect oil-field jobs, because it's not just work, it's putting food on the table. He stands with law enforcement, backs our veterans, and believes in our Second Amendment rights. Trinidad Malone for District 66.
I'm Trinidad Malone, and I approve this message.
Incredible in Artesia is open for business, ready to give you the hometown quality and customer service you know and love. Georgia and her team specialize in in-house design for quality custom business cards at a competitive price. From scanning to desktop publishing, if you need it, they can do it. On Main Street across from the Derrick Floor statue in downtown Artesia. For all your printing needs, think Incredible.
When you or a loved one need medical transport, Trans-Aero answers the call. Trans-Aero Medevac operates 3 rotorcraft bases and 1 fixed-wing base in southeastern New Mexico, allowing them to respond quickly to emergencies across diverse terrains. Their fleet extends coverage deep into New Mexico and West Texas, including Artesia, Carlsbad, Roswell, Ruidoso, Midland, Lubbock, and the surrounding areas, ready to answer the call when every second counts. Trans-Aero Medevac, proudly serving southeastern New Mexico and West Texas. Flown for free, thanks to the partnership from the City of Artesia and Trans-Aero Medevac. Life support by air.
I'm Doug Turner, Republican for governor. Here in New Mexico, our oil and gas industry isn't just part of our economy, it's the backbone. It funds our schools, powers our communities, and provides thousands of good-paying jobs. But instead of supporting it, progressives like Deb Haaland want to shut it down. As governor, I won't let them. I'll stand with our energy industry, not punish it. Because when oil and gas succeed, New Mexicans win. I'm Doug Turner, Republican for governor. Everywhere I go in New Mexico, I see it. Potholes, crumbling sidewalks, dangerous roads. And every time I hear excuses from politicians who've done nothing for years. I'm Doug Turner, Republican for governor. I don't make excuses, I get results. As governor, I'll fix our roads, invest in infrastructure, and hold bureaucrats accountable so tax dollars benefit you, not politicians. We have the resources. It's time we use them to get the job done. I'm Doug Turner, and I approve this message. Paid for by Turner for New Mexico.
Welcome back, Artesia. We're now joined from his underground bunker, Mr. Aaron Irving. How are you doing this morning, man?
I'm good. How about you?
You wish you had an underground bunker.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. I want an underground bunker, too.
Yeah.
All right, man. How are things going, dude?
Going well. Going well.
Oh, I lost you there. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. It's just my headphones, I guess. All right, man. Well, start us off with a good joke.
All right. So everybody on earth dies, and they're standing at the pearly gates. The Lord comes and says, I want the men to make 2 lines. 1 line for the men that dominated their women on the earth, and the other line for the men that were dominated by their women. Also, I want all the women to go with St. Peter. Said and done. Next time the Lord looked, the women were all gone and there were 2 lines. The line of the men that were dominated by their women went on as far as the eye could see, and in the line of men that dominated their women, there was only one man. The Lord got mad and said, "You men should be ashamed of yourselves. I created you in my image, and you were all dominated by your wives. Look at the only one of my sons that stood up and made me proud. Learn from him. Tell them, my son, how did you manage to be the only one in this line?" The man replied, "Well, I don't really know. My wife told me to stand here."
I knew that was coming. Oh, that's a road we won't go down today. Oh man! All right. Well, let's hear that market report and see what's going on with everything.
All right. This is Aaron Irving with LPL Financial, member of FINRA and the SIPC, bringing you your mid-morning stock market report for Thursday, May the 7th. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ composites hit new all-time intraday highs today as oil prices fell for another day, buoyed by hopes that the U.S. and Iran are close to closing in on an agreement to end the conflict. The S&P 500 was last up 0.2%, while the NASDAQ composite rose 0.6%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average traded just below the flat line. Oil prices were trading below $100 this morning, with U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures dropping 3% to just above $91 a barrel. International Brent crude futures slipped 3% to above $97 a barrel. Along with declining oil prices, more strong quarterly results helped sentiment as well. Fortinet popped 22% after lifting its full-year billings guidance. Meanwhile, DoorDash gained more than 1% after the food delivery giant issued rosy guidance for orders in its second quarter. Stocks posted strong gains in the previous session as well, with the S&P 500 and NASDAQ composites posting record highs. The Dow also popped more than 600 points. Yesterday, stocks moved higher and oil prices cooled after Axios reported, citing sources, that the U.S. and Iran were nearing a deal to end the conflict. Specifically, 2 U.S. officials and 2 other sources briefed on the issue told the outlet that the White House believes it's nearing a one-page, 14-point memorandum of understanding to not only end the war, but also establish a framework for more detailed nuclear talks. Currently, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 53 points at 49,857. The S&P 500 is 5 points higher at 7,370, and the NASDAQ composite is up 114 points to 25,953. West Texas Intermediate crude is down $3.39 a barrel at $91.69. Stocks of local interest. HF Sinclair is down $1.69 a share at $69.39. Walmart is 57 cents lower at $129.51 a share. Xcel Energy is down 28 cents a share to $80.27, and Apple is $2.76 higher at $290.29 a share. This is Aaron Irving with Oakley & Irving Wealth Management, serving business owners and energy industry professionals in the Pecos Valley and beyond. You can find us at oiwealth.com or at our offices in Artesia and Carlsbad. You can call us at 575-887-7075. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Securities are offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA, and the SIPC.
All right, man. So I don't know. This is of course pure speculation, and I know you're not a speculation man. You gotta, but you know, if you sit and watch what the economy's done during the middle of this conflict, where most conflicts, you know, economies constrict. You know, things go down, you know, of course, oil goes up, but stocks go down, all that stuff. Everything's just continuing to climb. And I'm curious, like, okay, when the war is over, there's usually a big boom, like, you know, things go, you know, toward the positive. We've already continued to go. I'm curious, like, how high this goes, like how big of a boost there is on the other side of this.
Yeah, I think we're getting a lot of that, the end of conflicts being priced in already. I expect to have some increase if it officially ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a lot of pricing in just on the expectations. You know, we haven't we haven't lost any major, we haven't lost any ships or anything like that, and we've pretty much taken out most of Iran's weapons. So it's a foregone conclusion that there's going to be an end to the conflict, which makes people happy. And then this earnings season is rocking and rolling, so that's really driving the prices as well and helping the valuations of the market. So and it'll keep coming up higher.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where oil kind of settles out after this as well. Once the straits open, flow comes in, will it drop all the way back down in the 60s, or will it settle out, somewhere in the 70s and 80s, which would be good for us here, balance out around $80 a barrel. Yeah, gas a little higher, but
it'll seem cheaper than it'll be cheaper than it was, and so good for all, I think, if we could get around there.
And we just get some more money flowing in the economy here. I mean, it's going to be, there's a lot of variables. All of us, I think, a lot of us, especially who are, ignorant in the classical sense of how all this works, we just see high prices and stuff and start worrying. But to watch the economic growth, I think that's going to come out on the backside of this is going to be pretty impressive.
Yes, absolutely. And if those oil prices come down and stay under $100 a barrel, then that's really good as well. If they stay above $100 a barrel for a long period of time, that can drive some recession possibilities and things.
I remember that happening one time. Oh yeah, it was under Obama.
It was under Biden. Biden, 2021.
Yeah, Obama and Biden. Interesting. But I thought they had all the answers. We'll just have to kind of watch it and see. I think it'll be. I don't know. We'll have to look. I'm wondering. On the retail side, right now people are spending a little less money because they're paying more for gas and a little bit more for groceries and stuff. But this is nowhere near the economic collapse. I think they expected like a COVID level economic collapse with this war. And
right.
And it's not happening. I think. I hate when everything's going so good.
Yeah, just think if we didn't have the opposition suing every time they try to get something accomplished, I mean, what money we could save.
Yeah, I wonder what the government could save if it didn't have to deal with fraud and lawsuits.
Oh yeah, we probably wouldn't have a deficit.
I don't know how much of our GDP goes to covering lawsuits and fraud in this country. It's just ridiculous.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Anyway, well, I appreciate it, man. We'll have a good weekend. Make sure you come out to the oil patch market. Come buy some stuff.
That's this weekend?
This weekend, Saturday, 3:30, man.
Oh, okay.
Come check it all out. So, but all right, brother, we have a great one, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. God bless.
You too.
Well, that's RN News. I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. When it comes to ending the war, the ball is now in Iran's court. Tehran says it is reviewing a U.S. proposal. President Trump says Iran has already agreed to give up its cluster nuclear weapons, and he's threatening a resumption of bombing if a deal is not agreed to. Meanwhile, the U.S. military continues enforcing its blockade of Iranian ports. Forecasters warn of the possibility of more severe weather across the southeast in the next few days. There is a lot of property damage in Mississippi after strong storms, including possible tornadoes, roared across the southern part of the state. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has held talks at the Vatican with Pope Leo. Tomorrow he meets with Italy's president and the country's foreign minister. The Dow's down 180 points. More details, srnnews.com.
Yeah, there's a separation between the top of 2A softball, that's Loving, and pretty much everybody else. Yesterday, Loving played their first game in the postseason and walloped Eunice 22-1 to move to 19-3 on the season. Loving next plays in Albuquerque next Wednesday against number 5 Capitan. Meanwhile, season came to an end for the Loving baseball team, losing heartbreaker to Raton, 7-6. Loving trailed 7-3. Got 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th, but couldn't get that last run to tie, and so it's Raton that moves on. At the state tennis tournament, Adrian Harvey from Artesia in the 4A girls draw defeated Dana Rosales from Chaparral 6-2, 6-2, but then lost to the second seed Nishta Coley from Academy, also 6-2, 6-2. Sean Arocido from Carlsbad lost first round to Cyrus Lesueur from Piedra Vista. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at KSVP Radio, AM 990.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
You have a Michigan Senate candidate. This guy's as bad as Graham Plattner in Maine. This guy El Sayed, with his ties, there was a FoxNews.com article to extremists and extremism fueling anti-Semitism concerns among Jewish voters. That's the headline. American Jewish Committee reports that 91% of American Jews say violent anti-Semitic attacks have increased their concerns over safety. But there is just disgusting vitriol, hatred. And I'm not sure where this newfound love of Sharia came from. You know what my attitude is? If you think Sharia is better than the West, then go live there.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, I want to talk about Africa for just a second. Now, hear me out. The African economies have made some very interesting gains in recent years. They have been strengthening their gold holdings with all this global uncertainty, and it seems to be working. They've added $50 billion in value over the last year alone. That's not bad. Now, the truth is, Africa is not alone. Central banks across the globe, they're still buying gold, and it doesn't look to be stopping. So does it make sense for you to add some gold to your own holdings? That's where my friends at Goldco come in. They can help you figure this out. They're offering you, my audience, a free gold and silver kit, and you can educate yourself about the power of gold and silver. And then you'll see if you qualify for an extra 10% in bonus gold or silver just for getting started. It's a great deal. Goldco, I'm a customer. Give them a call, 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will stay fairly cool today with high pressure moving in. A few clouds, but plenty of sunshine, and we're looking at mid to upper 70s. Overnight will be clear with upper 40s, and then we get a big warm up on Friday. We'll be back in the upper 80s and sunny. Looks like 90s for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Will stay sunny and breezy on Sunday, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Place that I'd rather be. Where else can you do a $500,000 things all at $250,000?
All right, Artesia. Hey, while we wait for our next guest to come in, I'm going to hit up a few. We didn't in the first hour. We were so jam-packed. I didn't get to hit any of the flyers or events going on. One of the things I neglect to talk about today is National Day of Prayer. There's a lot going on around the nation, and I encourage you to take a few moments today, spend some time in prayer for our nation, and just lift all this up to the Lord, and understand that it's in His hands. So don't forget today from 10 to 11 over at Lucky Duck Restaurant. There's a group gathering, and they'll be praying for our nation. And so you can go join them, and they're doing that every Thursday at 10 to 11. Until 4th of July. And so just encourage you to go join in that. Up in Carlsbad, they're having an event at the Walter Garrels Art and Exhibition Center. Tonight, 5 p.m. for food, 6:30 for prayer service, and it's going to have special guest Danny Goki. And it is a free event, so head on over to it. Hey, also, the Letter Carriers food drive is happening this Saturday, and so you can be part of that. They gather up non-perishable foods and donate it. And our mailman's just pulling up. It's timing right there. All you got to do is get non-perishable donations in a bag and set it next to your mailbox today and tomorrow and Saturday, and they'll pick that up and they'll take that in. So go and be part of that and help feed some people. Let's see. Next up, blood drives. Let's see if there's a blood drive today. Today is the 7th. Yep. Lovelace Regional Hospital in Roswell. The Bloodmobile will be out there, 117 East 19th Street, from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
When you were talking about the post office?
Yeah, I know the post. I was talking about it. Letter carrier mail, food drive, and here comes our mailman. So hopefully he's listening. Good job, man. Appreciate you dropping off the mail. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow is United Way Food Distribution in Carlsbad and Artesia. Up in Carlsbad, begins at 9 a.m. It's at Epworth Methodist Fellowship at 1406 West Blodgett Street. And here in Artesia, 7 a.m. at West Main Baptist Church, which is at 1701 West Main Street. So if you know anybody who is in need of some food, you can point them over there and help them out. Also happening this weekend is a marriage conference at Artesia First Baptist Church. That's happening tomorrow night, Friday, May 8th, and Saturday, May 9th. I don't know if they still got space, but you can go check it out. Register at fbcartesia.org, and go sign up for their marriage conference that they're having. And talked a little bit about this with Destiny earlier. This weekend is Mother's Day. A lot going on. We talked about the Main Street, the oil patch market. But don't forget about the Mother's Day Tea Party. That is on Saturday as well. It's an afternoon tea, May 9th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Go check it out. You can get your ticket. Includes a hot and cold tea menu, plus delicious snacks, a take-home Polaroid photograph, and beautiful moss art, sweet moments together. And so you can go to get tickets at artesiaartscouncil.com and be part of that. Let's see what else is happening this weekend. The Cavern Theater in Carlsbad is going to be showing this weekend on Saturday the 9th at 2 p.m. and then again at 6 p.m. Terms of Endearment. Tickets are only $8 for adults, $5 for seniors, and children 12 and under are $5. Okay. The largest sunflower contest at the Eddy County Fair. If you want to be part of that, you need to get your sunflower planted now and try to grow the largest diameter seed head. So go get you some sunflower seeds, get them planted, and grow some up. All right. Hey, registration is now open for the CVE lineman camp. I should have told the baseball player earlier, like, hey, he said he thought he might want to be a lineman. I was like, you can go to that camp. CVE lineman camp, all you got to do is head over to the CVE website, get registered. The event actually happens on Thursday, May 28th from 9 to 3 p.m., and it introduces young people into what it's like to be a lineman. And so if they like that, that's something they can do. All right, Central Valley Electric Co-op photo contest is going on right now as well. The theme is all things in nature. All you gotta do is take some photos. You must be a CVE member. Your household must be a CVE member, and you can submit up to 5 photos taken in the local community. All you gotta do is submit those online or email those to mbrsvc@cvecoop.org. Just make sure you include your full name, service, address, and phone number. All entries are due by the end of the month, May 29th by 5 p.m. All right. Kind of getting into next week's stuff. Let's see. VA and state veterans benefits outreach happening next week at the Carlsbad VFW Post 8703. It's at 1916 San Jose Boulevard in Carlsbad. That happens on the 13th next week from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you know veterans that are trying to get access to their federal or state benefits, you can send them on over to that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and close the show out after this.
Maydays! 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 Great news, Roswell and surrounding areas. Employee pricing is back this month at Roswell Ford, and it's bigger than ever. Buy today and pay what we pay with employee pricing for all on the entire lineup of new Fords. Plus, your friends at Roswell Ford need your trade, so there's never been a better time to trade and upgrade to a new Ford or a quality pre-owned with massive savings. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make or miles. So you can drive home a new Ford with employee pricing for all. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit with great rates and terms, even if it's less than perfect. For massive American-made savings and employee pricing for all, get on board at Roswell Ford. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Employee pricing across the entire lineup. Excludes Raptor Series, 2026 Super Duties, Lariat Package, and up. 2025 and 2026 Transit Wagon. Standard exclusions and final pay units. Sale ends 5/31/26.
A new roof, you can do it the cheap way or you can do it the right way. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and one of our customers recently found this out the hard way. He was going to hire us to re-roof his roof, but he found someone to do the job for $2,000 cheaper. Half a year later, this customer called us to re-inspect his brand new roof. Turns out this contractor was not a contractor at all. He had no license and no insurance. The roof was installed incorrectly and never had been passed by the city inspector. We had to re-roof his brand new roof. Tear off the shingles and start from scratch. It was the most expensive $2,000 anyone has ever saved. If you need a roof installed the right way, you can trust who your neighbors trust. You can trust Trustmark Roofing for no obligation to the penny quote on your roof transformation. Call 575-755-ROOF. That's 575-755-7663.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Check out the bargains this week at Fens Country Market in Artesia. Select 12 packs of Food Club soda are 3 for $12, and select boxes of Kellogg's breakfast cereals are $3.98 each. In produce, 6-ounce containers of blueberries, blackberries, or raspberries are $2.99 each, and red ripe strawberries are $1.99 a pound. In the meat department, pork spare ribs are $2.69 a pound, and packages of Earl Campbell's Original or Jalapeno Smoked Sausages are 2 for $4. These are just some of the bargains this week at Fens Country Market in Artesia.
When you need tough, reliable equipment that gets the job done right, turn to your local Kubota experts. Right now at Amigo Machinery in Roswell, dig into savings. Get 0 down and 0% for up to 36 months, or save up to $9,000 on select Kubota construction equipment. Strong, steady, unstoppable. Amigo Machinery, 2801 Southeast Main Street in Roswell, or call 575-624-2026. Amigo Machinery, your trusted local Kubota dealer for all of Southeast New Mexico.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAV.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-296-6868. That's 800-296-6868.
That was all he missed. He ain't coming back. Had a stone bar and a juke joint car. He made it stop just long enough. Grab the handle on the top. Next stop, Chinatown, Toledo, put the money down and roll.
All right, right, Artesia, welcome back. We got a last segment. We got about 9 minutes here. Hey, I just saw on Facebook, a friend of mine posted this, and wanted to share it out with you. If you're a homeschooling family, if you're homeschoolers, Kirsten Moritzen is, she's done a lot of the murals around town and stuff. She did that big mural on J.J. Clark along Eagle Draw. It looks like they're going to begin work on the other end of it, maybe. So the J.J. Clark and Bowman, so down there at the western end of that other mural, looks like they're going to be doing some more painting, and she's inviting homeschoolers out tomorrow for a paint time. So that's Friday the 8th from 12 to 3, and then again on Monday the 11th from 11 to 3. She says bring sunscreen, a hat, and some water. But the paint and brushes will be provided. So if you're a homeschooler, you know homeschoolers, get that information to them. It's always cool when they do the murals and they let the kids come out and paint on them, because it's so much fun. Later on in life, you can look and go, hey, I was a part of that. Years and years ago, I don't even remember how we ended up doing it, but Heritage Walkway, I got to go in there and they needed some help, and I went in and did some of the grouting on the tile and stuff, and every time I go through there, I remember that, and it's just a lot of fun to be part of your city's history, to tie the kids and adults too, tie in and be part of beautifying the city, and it's history. Be part of history. I don't know if I said this on the air earlier, but I was talking to Jeff. Sometimes it's really hard for us to see. We get very myopic about life. We're day to day. That day to day grind, just drudge. And just go and go and go, and you tend to miss that you're part of a larger portion of history. And I think we're in a historical era right now. And I think most of the people who live through these things, we go back and we study the war. We go back and we study, changes in American history, where shifts from across political stuff and everything else. And at the moment when people are doing it and living through it, they aren't thinking about, oh man, 100 years from now, kids are going to be studying this in school, and they're going to hear about what we did. They're just like, no, we're trying to do the right thing right here, right now. And that's, and they miss the fact. And so just know that, your life might seem a little bit small. You might think, hey, what does it really matter what I do right here, right now? But the amazing thing about God is he always uses the simplest, weakest things to change the world. We serve a God that didn't come to the earth and conquer with legions of angels, as he could have, as Jesus said to the Roman soldiers. Don't you know that I can call down legions of angels? He didn't come and force, with force take the world, but yet he is still taking the world, and I think people miss that. He is taking the world back. He's reversing the curse little by little as his church grows and fills the earth. We're watching the change, and if you stop sometimes and you look back, and we often think of history as in, especially here, I think here in America, we think back to 1776, 250 years, and that's our focus in history, and we miss a much broader picture. Look back 2,000 years of Christianity and its growth and its spread across the entire globe, and you can look now, and you may not know what's going on in China. God's making a great move in China. God's, the gospel spreading all throughout Africa right now, and the number of people coming to Christ and seeking to follow after him is always increasing, and increasing exponentially. And so it's an amazing to think just what I do here in my little corner of the world, what little bit I contribute to society, my speaking on the radio, my preaching, or if you're out there just working the oil fields, or if you're a mom faithfully raising your children in Christ, and you're making history in the moment. So ensure that you don't get caught up in that the weight of life just think about, well, my job is to get up every morning. God's given me another day to breathe, another day to follow after him. Your Christianity is not a lifestyle. As you know, Senator Babbitt says, it's not a lifestyle. It's not a cultural accessory that you add on, but rather it is your way of life. And walking in it every day is such an amazing blessing that we get. So I encourage you to think of it in those terms. Think of what, as a going forward. And you say you're out there seeking change. There's a lot of us out there seeking change in things the way we are. We're actually trying to change the world around us through our labors, and that'll only work if we're doing it within Christ. It's only going to work if we're following Christ and doing what He's told us to do, rather than seeking after our own way, our own pragmatic solutions that we often come up with. Are you honoring Christ in all that you're doing? If so, then His blessing is upon you, and His blessing is upon your labors. But if you're like, well, I put my Christianity over here in a corner, and over here I've got to do this way because this is the way the world does it, and we've got to we got to honor the world around us, otherwise they won't listen to us. It's such a nonsensical way of thinking of things, because ultimately the world, man, is not in charge of the way the world will go. Christ is, and He blesses us in obedience. We often forget that. We think that was just a time period. That was only His way of dealing with Israel, but that's not the case. He deals with all nations. He deals with all peoples. He deals with all households in this, that following after Him is the blessing itself. If we walk in Christ, if we walk in His law, what an amazing, perfect way to go. And we can see the mere blessing in that, even if it doesn't go the way we think it should go. I think that's a lot of things. I was reading, our men's group just finished up the book, The Screw Tape Letters. And if you've never read The Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis, I highly commend it to you. It'll open your eyes to a lot of your behaviors that you didn't realize you were doing, and a lot of ways of thinking that you didn't realize were wrong, to be honest. And he said something in one of the final chapters, is that what man expects, he often comes to think, what man expects long enough, he comes to think of as a right. Well, if we expect something to go the way it should for long enough, we think we have a right to it happening that way. We have to change our mindset on that. No, the only thing we have a right to do is follow after Christ and walk in His way. And what comes out of it is His decision. It's He produces the end result, not our labors. We have to toil diligently at the soil. We plant, we water, but we don't cause the growth. For all of our hubris in thinking that, well, I made that plant grow, or I brought up this kid and they turned out successful because of all the labors I put into it. No, the truth of it is, whatever comes, all good things come from God. So whatever good comes along in our life is His blessing on you in walking in obedience. And so I encourage you, Artesia, think about it, ponder on that, ponder on how is it that I could live my life a little more boldly, a little more openly for Christ. What are some things I'm doing that I think are right, but more than likely are just things that were put in my head by society. And I went, well, that's right, but I never actually checked it against Scripture. Measure all your thoughts, measure all of that against Christ. Thank you, Artesia. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and God bless you all.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump says the onus is now on Iran to reach an agreement.
We're dealing with people that want to make a deal very much, and we'll see whether or not they can make a deal that's satisfactory to us. We have it very much under control.
The U.S. and Iran are closing in on a one-page memo to end the war. According to sources, oil prices plunged and stock shares leapt as a result. Right now on Wall Street, the Dow is struggling a bit. It's down 88 points, but the NASDAQ is up 61. Republicans in a number of